have to send people to 2 different shows.
Hey, we're live.
And,
No.
Wasn't that
Sorry
20?
to interrupt you. Hey, everybody! It's the Alaboom. We are live. Barry's probably tweeting it out here in just a second. So
I am.
yes, you are.
I don't remember my Twitter account.
I believe Keith and Anthony will be joining us shortly. There was rumors that Stephen Bonacore would join us, but I just recently heard from him that he is tired and he needs to go to bed.
Oh, poor baby.
So Mr. Bonacore will not be joining us. He said soon he would. Looks like the $78 million man is just logging in right now. That's always nice.
I thought you said Bonacore couldn't make it.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can't hear him talk, but I mean, there he is. But Jim, it's good to see you, buddy.
He's muted.
Yeah, I know. He probably muted himself for some reason. I don't know. He's how many scotches are you into the night right now?
4, 5.
Number 1.
Number 1. What are you drinking, if I may ask?
This is Macallan 12.
Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's good stuff. It's very good. And you're serious? We're gonna do a Scotch night at the for the Alaboomers at Gen Con, you think? Or
Yes.
what?
Yes.
That'll be nice.
I cleared it with my wife. Now there's good news and bad news. The good news is yes. The bad news is it will not be downtown.
Or is it going to be like your apartment or something?
It will be at my. It will be at my house.
Well, that's okay. We just need to figure out a way to get there, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's what that Uber is for, or whatever. I am not drinking any alcohol. I'm just enjoying actually it's I'm having an Arnold Palmer. Actually, I'm feeling like I'm feeling like my old man. I've actually been trying to drink I'm trying to get a little bit of caffeine so I can stay awake, but I'm also trying to not drink so much sugary crud as well. So, look at the suck up wearing his Board Game Geek jersey.
So it's only half lemonade, right?
Yeah, half lemonade. However,
hey, look at that.
I
should have worn my jersey.
I will fully admit that a little bit of whiskey or vodka in this is a tasty drink. But not tonight. I'm tired enough as it is, so I don't need anything speeding me along. So, what did you? So Scott, you sold out. This is cool. Thank you so much.
He's a sellout. That's right.
Sellout.
You sold out. You sold out in what, like an hour?
Technically 57 minutes, but who's counting?
No, but who's counting?
You are.
I wanted to count.
So and how quickly was the hotel gone?
Hotel hasn't gone on sale yet.
Oh, the hotel hasn't gone on sale yet. So when does that fiasco begin?
Next week.
How's that work? Or do you ask the hotel to hold off the whole hotel?
The hotel block is locked out. Yeah, it's blocked out.
Are you then? Do you just literally turn off your email for that week so you don't have to listen to people complain when they can't get their hotel room?
He's listening to it right now. It hasn't even started.
So what are people complaining about right now? Like, just basically, I couldn't get my tickets. This sucks.
There's I've seen a couple. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I've got friends on Facebook who are kind of complaining, and I don't want to call them out or nothing, but there are friends on Facebook complaining.
Give me a second.
Actually, it's not been too bad. I feel like this year, even though it sold out quicker, we sold out in 2 hours last year. This year was an hour, right? So
yeah.
I feel like there was less complaining. There was one thing we failed to do was notify the mailing list. And someone got angry about that. But when they told us about it, the person who was angry about it wrote at 1:30, which was halfway through the sale. So they could have bought the tickets.
They could have. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I guess he was angry just for
Being
the
angry.
sense of it. I don't know. Some people just. I feel like I get taken to task constantly with stuff, but whatever.
That's because you're $74 million man.
All right, is it 74 or 78? You guys keep conflicting. I'm
They
very.
change it all the time.
I haven't looked it up recently. Maybe I could here in just a little bit, but
I looked it up last week.
yeah. So I mean that's a good problem to have though. And then next year you go to the bigger venue, right?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. So we have one more pressure cooker year.
So well, technically we have 2 years of pressure cooker because we have
It's
this
2 years.
year and then
Well,
2000.
this year's sold out, right?
Well, no, but
yeah,
I haven't yet gotten to Texas where they will then give me two things of shitty lemonade to drink and a box of crackers. So I haven't yet experienced the joy.
Fresh report. 70.
No, but I will say this that Scott, you did actually make me feel you made me feel appreciated when you like reached out to me when you found out that I might not be going, and
I know I couldn't believe it.
yeah,
I was
and
just
it's
like, what the fuck? He's not coming. I was not even. I'm not even kidding you, dude. I was watching it like after you guys. I forget where was I out of town. I was somewhere, and I don't know when I saw it, and I was like, "What did I just hear come out of Lance's mouth?"
so I heard that,
I
and
might just go to this PAX thing.
and I approached I
Kinda
approached
cool.
I approached the people that be, and I just basically said, I guess my presence is requested, and
Oh, yeah.
and Daniel actually said, he's like, well, how dumb are you? I mean, he's like, he wants you there, so I mean, it's just like you knew he was gonna be pissed. I was just like, I don't know if he was pissed. He was just probably
I
disappointed.
wasn't pissed. I was just like, I was kind of surprised.
So
I mean,
no,
here's
I
the
was-
thing. I don't know. I don't know what to say about PAX, but have you guys been to a PAX?
I've never been to a PAX.
No.
It's a convention center hotel. It's a convention center convention.
I may be there
Not
this year.
Hotel. Do they do stuff in the hotels too, or is it just all in the? Like, does it shut down?
I don't know.
Like,
I
you
know that-
Origins closes and stuff. Like, Origins
know-
closes at, like,
Our contingent that goes to PAX East runs till 11, 12 o'clock at night for our events, so I'm assuming it does not.
so it's not a 24-hour thing.
No, not 24-hour, but it's not a 6 o'clock everyone out the door either. It's probably like a Gen Con where the exhibitor hall's only open till 6, but the rest of the show will go on until 10, 11, 12 o'clock.
More like Origins then.
Mm-hmm.
Although Gen Con's 24, right? In the gaming halls, they're 24.
Well, yeah, and so is Origins used to be. Now it's like 2 a.m. and they shut down or something.
Yeah, they shut down that thing at like 1. I got kicked
Yeah.
out. I was actually kind of surprised how
kicked you
early
out.
it shut down.
It's because they've got freaking vendors in there.
Mhm.
That's why they
Yeah,
have
the
to
vendor
shut
hall
down.
was in the gaming. We were in the gaming hall, or whatever they call that.
Right.
Yeah,
Wasn't the
but that-
exhibit
it
hall-
wasn't like that before, Aldi. They used to be in two
Oh, okay.
halls. So I
It
think
used to
that's
be
where-
open full time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't keep security all night.
No.
I mean,
No.
you could.
Or that they don't want to have the publishers staff their booths all night to watch their stuff either. So
So put them in the goddamn exhibit hall, wall that shit off, and let people play their goddamn games.
Everybody's got a solution, but there comes a time when you it's one of
Those
those
walls are modular. They can put all the vendors
Well,
are scattered into one.
let me
thing.
let me know when I'm allowed to have my opinion without being interrupted.
Nope, you are
Hold
not
your
allowed.
breath.
Okay. Everybody always thinks that they know the answer, but I mean, I don't know. People that have been running conventions for as long as they have probably have a decent idea of what they're doing. So, just gonna say that's all I'm saying.
That's why they almost killed it 3 years ago, right?
Mm.
Yeah, Origins was like. I
Origins
heard
almost died.
from
Was
friends that
that
Origins was like gone. Yeah.
Well, I would say Origins is with last year's Origins was the first one I ever been to, and I was actually really pleasantly surprised with it.
Me too. I had a great time.
I was really. I mean, it was fun to be there. It was just like it had like that like relaxed atmosphere that I appreciate at a convention.
Origins has been one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Right behind. I like the casual small shows too. I like BGG Con. I like Dice Tower Con. I like Origins. If I never had to go to Gen Con again, I wouldn't even blink twice at it.
I just said that to Scott like yesterday. I said that if I didn't have to go there and work, I wouldn't go to Gen Con.
No, it was great to go a few times, but I've seen what it's about, and you know what? I could do without it. It's so much more relaxed when you're like at BGG Con or Origins, and you actually can talk to people and not feel like you're being cattle prodded along. I hate Gen Con.
Hey Scott, are you having the that video area again this year at Origins?
Yes. They are. Yeah, it'll be the same.
Oh, cool.
As I understand it. I don't know if we're in the same spot, but we are going. Yeah.
If I
Yeah,
didn't get a room for
Origins-
Gen Con, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I said, when you're talking about Gen Con, if I didn't get a room, I would just drive up Thursday, go shopping, and go say hi to everybody, and go home, be done, and play games at home for 3 days. I mean, that's where Gen Con's at.
Here's an interesting thing, and I'm not proposing that I'm going to do this or anything. Hold on. I was trying to type something to Anthony, but I can't get my mouse to work. Gen Con's too full.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there not? Why is there not another convention on the same weekend? Like in a different city?
Because people would still go to Gen Con, and like, so if you had another convention, why don't you have?
Why did PAX open up on the same day as BGG Con? Was that a
because
coincidence?
they don't like you.
Was that a
Because
coincidence?
you're sold out.
I mean, we sold out in an hour. I think I saw some glee posted by people who were happy that it did. I'm certainly happy, but like, there's room for more conventions according to the people who opened PAX up, right? They put it against BGG Con, so I feel like Gen Con could have a convention against it.
So did they know
Another city.
that they were going against BGG Con when they did it?
I'm not going to comment on it.
They had to. I mean, let's face it. If they're going to open up a convention, they're doing their research to see what their competition is. They'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, or it could just be a coincidence, like a venue scheduling, or you never know, Oldie.
Hey,
The whole world's not against you, just the ones who want BPG great again.
You
Well,
should take it as a compliment.
Does PAX East, North, and Prime compete against anything?
No, not that I know. Oh yeah, I thought there was a Dragon Con.
Yeah, Dragon Con and PAX Prime are the same weekend, so it's not like they're just targeting you. They just happen to they just pick their weekends and don't care who's doing what. Apparently.
I don't know those guys. I wish I knew those guys. The first comic they ever drew was made fun of the video game I worked on, so I kind of wish I knew them. Their very first comic made fun of Sin, which is like I think I've said that before here, but anyway, I don't know them. But it's kind of grown beyond them, right? Like it's like this big company, which I did not realize it was a whole nother sub company took over it all. Which I mean, you'd have to with that size. It's massive.
Yeah. So there you go.
Anyway, I'm happily surprised. I didn't think it was going to sell out in an hour, but I am happy.
It's totally worth what I decided to do.
How could I not be worried about it when a 50,000 person convention opens up against you?
Right.
Well, people still know that even though you go to sleep on $1 million bills, you're still a man of the people. So
if no one came to BGGCon, that would end pretty quickly. The $1 million would be gone.
You sold out in an hour. You did even better than last year. I mean, yes, take it as a compliment to your success.
And I don't think it's really going to hurt you. I think even when you open your numbers, I don't think you're going to have a hard time selling out. It's just going to be a different demographic of people because I think people in the Northeast region are going to go to PAX because it's more convenient and they don't have to travel as far. You're still going to get your numbers because there's still a ton of people that want to go to your show, So it's not like
it's definitely a statement on the industry, right? Like there's a lot of demand out there.
Yeah.
A lot of demand.
Absolutely. I think you could have another show open up the weekend of Gen Con, and if it was on the West Coast, I guarantee it would sell out because there's all that Gen Can't crowd. There's thousands of people that don't go that celebrate the Gen Con weekend not going to Gen Con. So
the only thing is publishers are put under pressure.
Well, I know we're doing both. We have to. We have to have a presence.
Yeah. The bigger ones have to. I don't see why you wouldn't.
But we're not selling there. I mean, we're just going for demos. We're going to send 2 staffers and like 6 volunteers, and that's it for the first year. And we're going to gauge how it goes from there. I think a lot of people are going to do that. Send a skeleton crew to evaluate and see if it's worth going to next year.
So
but I'm still going to BGG.
Why aren't you selling stuff, Pete? Is that just You're afraid of it, or you just don't want to let
No,
go of a
not
certain
afraid
amount
of
of copies? Or?
Well, for one, I mean, we'd have to split up our inventory in order to do both shows simultaneously.
True.
And since we're already locked in and committed with BGG and already have our booth stuff and all of our arrangements and stuff, we're gonna do what we intended to do, which was go full sale at BGG like we usually do. And because this is a new show and we didn't really know exactly if it would take off or not, we just decided to set up a small booth and do demos there, and then kind of gauge how it goes.
Right.
Plus, there'll be other vendors there that will sell for us. We have partnerships with other people that will sell our products. So next year we'll evaluate after this year and decide if it's worth having a booth there, and at that point allocate so we have all full inventory of stock at both shows. If it ends up still being the same weekend,
I suspect. Well, I don't think it's they've. Well, I don't know if anybody in charge has publicly said anything, but people who are associated with PAX have said they won't schedule it, or they don't want to schedule it against BGGCon again. So we'll see.
I mean, it's a busy time of year, though. I mean, in November, if they're going to do it in the same time frame, you've got Thanksgiving to worry about. So it's either going to be before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving. So they're not like they have a ton of room.
I don't know. I wonder if after Thanksgiving could work. I mean, I just don't sense it.
Why can't we have a big con in the spring?
Yeah. We got BGGCon in May. I mean, is that the spring? That's technically spring.
Nothing really goes on in December. I mean, the Dice Tower does a cruise like in the first week of December. Other than that, I think December is a pretty dead month for conventions. So I don't think there's anything it would compete against there.
Well, what about October? There's nothing really there, is there?
Not sure.
October is Essen.
Essen, well, yeah, Essen,
right, Essen,
and that's a big strain on companies because a large majority of the U.S. companies have to put a lot to go to Essen. So having to go to another show the week before or week after Essen isn't going to happen. We prep for 2 or 3 weeks before Essen, and I doubt any of our staff would want to go to the show the week after.
Essen is many companies' entire year. Like, there's so much selling there. I mean, all the Gen Cons and the Origins do not even compare to the amount of selling that happens at Essen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a drop in the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Plop.
Plop.
All right. Well,
you're coming this year, right, Lance? I heard you say something like that.
To Essen?
Yeah.
It's
it's late this year, so it's not on your anniversary.
Yeah,
so it's like 2 weeks later.
It's if they want to send me. I'm not gonna. And if I go, I go. If I don't, I don't. I'm not. It's weird. I'm not in a really weird like, oh man, I gotta go to Essen. I've never really felt like that. I don't like. I don't know. Maybe it's like I don't like to travel outside of the United States.
You're not getting crazy anymore either.
I'm with you though, Lance. I'm the same way. I would love to go for the experience, but I'm not dying to go. And if Cool Mini never sends me, I won't care either.
It's something I want to do once. It's a bucket list type of thing. Go experience it. Check it out. I just, it is as wrong as it is. It's one of those things where it's like I have to go somewhere and I have to try to figure out how to talk to people and explain what I want. And
it's English. They speak English.
Well, I know, but I mean, then it's like it's the whole problematic thing of how do you get your shit home? I mean, I literally would have to like probably hit you up and send my stuff home with you. After I bought it.
I don't ship anybody's stuff home out anymore.
Well, that's because
paying anything else.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know, wink, wink, right? You don't do it for anybody. I understand.
Nope, done.
No, I know. I know, you're right. You're right. You don't do it for anybody. That's correct.
So here's the thing. We used to bring every single game for BGGCon back in 2 suitcases. You can do it. Can be done.
Well, I know how you do it.
All you have to do is cut the boxes.
Yep.
Flatten everything out. Punch everything.
Keep it shaking.
Well, and then if you're lucky, you can what is it like the Russian doll the boxes a little bit too. I've seen people do that.
Plenty. Depends on how much you want to bring back. If you want to bring back everything, then no. Obviously, there's too much stuff. But if you're going to bring back 10, 20 games, you can do it. You could totally do it.
It would be cheaper to check like 4 bags than to have all that stuff shipped back, and at least it'd go with you. For you, can fit a lot in 3 suitcases if you packed 1 for your clothes and then 3 empties. Even if it was $50 a piece, $150 is a small price for that much stuff.
All the people for BGG that volunteer bring back at least 30, 40, 50 games.
Yeah. What do you
I
do?
don't ship their stuff back for them.
Bwah, bwah.
Just too much logistical problems for us.
First world problems.
It doesn't make sense with customs, and like you have weird. You don't want customs to have any questions. You like, you want to sail through. When you have all kind of weird like boxes with weird things in them, taking a risk.
I would leave them sealed. I wouldn't even crack the seal on them.
Well, the custom. But the thing is, the custom things is the issue, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I almost dumped this big glass of water on my keyboard.
That would have been great.
That would have been bad.
Then you'd have an Anthony laptop.
Yeah. Where's
Can we-
is that? What happened? To Anthony?
We should have a GoFundMe for Anthony's laptop.
That would be
He
awesome.
was on his phone last week and it was perfect.
It was perfectly clear, and
It was
could hear
perfect.
everything he said.
Yeah, and we can finally put to rest this belief that that he's cheating on initials, because we'd be able to, because go ahead and try to Google something on your phone, Anyway, so hey, we're already at 9:30. I'm just gonna ask, does anybody have any airing of grievances that they want to get off their chest?
I have a grievance.
Yes.
Can I get air grievance?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
I was complete. I could not find a single double room.
I wish. No, you know what I would want. I'll listen to your grievance here, but I really wish that we had some pastoral tunes, or we can say it's we can come up with some catchy name for it. It's like, you're entering the chapel of grievances, and you can and we air it out. And then we feel better afterwards, right? We complain about it. This is to complain about the things that you have no control over. So, so Brother Scott, explain to us, what is your airing of grievance that has been troubling you?
I feel like I'm the only one that had problems this year with the Gen Con exhibitor housing. I didn't see nearly as much pitching as I saw last year. So maybe I did pretty well last year with the rim block, but this year I got kind of donutted. I need 8 rooms. I need 7 of them to be doubles. I got 1 double, so I have 8 king room bed, or I have 7 king bedrooms at Gen Con.
Ouch.
I was within the first minute, and there was nothing. There were no doubles available. So that basically just tells me Gen Con sells all the doubles before they.
So since I drive up, I'll stop and get you a chainsaw, and then you can make a bunch of
make
doubles.
the beds into doubles. Yeah.
Well, I know. I
So
mean,
I'm kind of frustrated.
I know that we ran into the same. I mean, we didn't even get kings. It was queens, and so it's one of those things where it's
doubles. Then you got doubles.
No, there's a single queen bed in the room.
What?
Yeah.
What hotel has that?
I believe that it would be the JW Marriott. So
No, they're double queens. There's a king.
I don't know.
No,
There are single queen rooms in downtown Indy. Because
Really?
most of the time those hotels are filled with business travelers.
No, I mean what's ultimately going to end up happening probably is we're just going to ship air mattresses, to the and just we're just going to have.
God, I hope I don't have to do that.
Which is once again why I think it's just stupid. It's just dumb.
It's super frustrating as an exhibitor when they want exhibitors to come. Obviously, I mean Keith and I Keith and I can counterpoint because we had this. We want to do the counterpoint, Keith. So I basically think that the exhibitor block should be fulfilled first before the attendees, because how do you exhibitors have a lot of crap. They have to be close. They have to be within walking distance. I mean, they should be within walking distance. Having to Uber in, they have to be there at 9 a.m. to set up and make sure that everything's running when 10 a.m. opens the door. If you're 30 minutes away and you get stuck in traffic, you're not coming. You're not going to make it in time.
And if you're an attendee, you're there and you're what the convention makes a ton of money on. The exhibitors have no reason to be there without the attendees because they don't make a dime. Instead, they spend thousands of dollars to make $0 and just lose their ass. So you need the attendees. And the attendees are the ones that are up late at night, are keeping those downtown businesses that are supporting Gen Con in the money by spending money at restaurants and bars late at night with thousands and thousands of people versus hundreds of people. So you want to keep
Right.
those people downtown as a priority.
But what if you took how many people as exhibitors do you think attend Gen Con? Like 500, maybe 1,000 attendees. 1,000 are.
But it's not just your exhibitors; it's all your exhibitors' army of volunteers, and that's what's eating up all the rooms.
Well, as an exhibitor, you are limited to 2 rooms per 10 by 10. So, as a 20 by 20 booth holder, I can have 8 rooms.
So Pete gets 3 hotels.
So here's what you do. You take that priority point system that Gen Con has, and you say to the exhibitors, you set up 2 blocks of rooms, blocks for exhibitors and blocks for participants, and you tell the exhibitors that you can use your priority points to either get your booth placement you want, or you can cash them in for advanced room placement. That would also give other people a chance to break into some of the nice spots.
Let's put Jim in charge.
I like it.
Aldi, if you were going there to make money, would
Yeah.
you spend that time and money to go further away from the convention center?
I guess if I was very cost
around it?
conscious, I would stay at the 15-mile, 15-minute to 30-minute distance, right? And
The problem
rent a
there is,
van and drive everybody in the morning.
yeah, the problem there is parking because we don't have any kind of real good metro.
Right.
So-
Yeah. So you're basically renting a van. Like if I had 8 people, I would rent a minivan or a van.
Okay, I'm going to solve. I'm going to
Put
solve
8 people in it. We'd
Yeah.
say you got to be at the minivan by 8:30. Fucking 8:30. Because it takes a half an hour to drive in. We set up at 9. We're ready by 10.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Are you ready for me to solve this?
So, Keith, would you, as a consumer, you would go half hour, whatever, out, right?
No, Keith wants to be in the action.
Yeah,
No, I
Yeah.
want to be in the action because I'm up till
Believe
2.
me.
I don't
Yeah,
want to.
I get
Yeah.
it. That's what I built the formula of BGG Con is being in the action in the hotel.
How many people do you put per room, Aldi?
I don't ask anybody to do what I wouldn't do myself.
Well, but see, that's a big difference on what Scott Alden would do versus what
I don't.
Keith and Lance and Anthony will do.
If I put 4 people into a double queen, I don't think my volunteers would not be too happy.
Right. So when I go, we book 4 guys in a room.
Yeah.
And I know people that do worse. So I mean, a lot of times
With one pair of underwear between them.
And
No,
then
we
the
won't.
lady-
We won't put more than 2 per room for our volunteers, and we bring 50 volunteers to Gen Con. And we won't do it because I would not want to expect my guys to work 5 days, set up, tear down, and have the energy to be able to push games all day long and be sleeping on a floor or on an air mattress. That's not going to happen.
But here's the deal. You absolutely know for a fact that like the big time people that attend there, the ones that have the giant areas, they've got their rooms way before that day. You know, you're telling me that everybody who volunteers for Fantasy Flight, they haven't lined up their rooms already.
No, I don't suspect they're in the exhibitor block. There's no way there's someone at Fantasy Flight pushing the button.
No, I mean they're in the exhibitor block, but they're in
12 p.m.
they're in Gen Con. They're giving Gen Con so much money that Gen Con says, "And here are your rooms, sir. Thank you very much."
Exactly, and
Yeah,
you
they're the
don't,
sponsors
and you
of
don't
the show.
register on that until I don't even know how much money you have to spend.
They're the VIGs of the exhibitors.
Yeah. I feel. I mean,
I'll say this:
I'm not like the biggest guy in the thing, but I'm not the smallest.
the weird screwed up process of getting a room if you're going to Gen Con and you're just hoping you get like a good time with the lottery.
Oh God, it's horrible.
Well, no, I mean they make spending the $500 for VIG, very very enticing to people.
Yeah, but there hasn't been a VIG badge for sale for 5 years.
Yeah,
That's true. I mean, it's like because once you get it, right, you're kind of grandfathered in, right?
Yeah, you get to buy it first. I actually got it into my cart 5 years ago. I was going to buy in for that very reason.
And it's $500, right?
Yeah, and it was gone before I could get it to check out. So that's how close I came to get VIG because there's like
man, that would've been
badge.
Awesome.
I would have locked in.
The people that have the VIG badges, they're like the guy that has the car your freshman year in college.
And
You
here's
know,
what's
it's like, it's like, oh, he's got a car. He can drive us around town.
And what's screwed up about VIG is VIG's been the same size since the con was 27,000 attendees. As
Right.
far as I can tell, it hasn't grown with the con. So
I don't think they
it's
want to
the
grow from the
same
con. You kind of see. I mean, like they get access to the weird.
Well, they've got their own room. They have, I think, Wi-Fi access. They get the hour early time. They've got some events that are just for them.
Well, and then they. But
And
the
plus
big
a guaranteed room.
the three things I think that people like is they have that weird beanbag room that they go into that has snacks.
They've got
That
the lounge.
aren't room temperature pink lemonade. They,
Was
they
it room
have-
temperature? It wasn't even cold.
It wasn't even cold.
It wasn't
even
even
cold.
All right, Jeff, you hear that? Jeff is watching. He's hearing the grievances. You gotta get the pink lemonade.
And it was
ice.
empty half of the time you go there. Half the time there would be nothing, and then you come back and it'd be fully loaded. And then you come back 30 minutes later and it was empty again.
God,
I don't know- I
I wish
don't
I could
know
just go buy $1,000 worth of soda, guys.
I don't know about you, but when I'm thirsty and I need a pick me up, some room temperature lemonade and a bag of airplane crackers or pretzels really hit the spot.
You're lucky you get anything. What do you get at Gen Con as an exhibitor?
I have a press badge, so I get free sodas all day long.
Well, you're cheating the system then.
How am I
Yeah,
cheating
yeah.
the system? I
Because
apply for a press badge and
You're
they
an
give it to me.
exhibitor.
But you can have more than one badge. They
What
don't.
press are you now? Just kidding.
I still do videos. I do this.
Yeah, I don't want to bring dredge all that stuff back up.
Well, yeah, no. I mean,
So I'm gonna
I didn't even mention this part. This is not really. I guess I don't know if it's partly Gen Con's problem or my problem, or I don't know. So we're doing the hot games room again this year,
Yay!
right? In the same area, not the same room. I think we're in the high. I think I'm not. Don't hold me to it. I haven't gotten a final thing, but I need like at least 2 to 3 more rooms for that. The group of people to do that. Like we all double shifted last year to make the hot games room happen. And so I wanted to kind of bring more people, but I'm only limited to 8 rooms, so I can't get more rooms. And Gen Con doesn't really have any help for that.
I'll help you for free, Aldi.
Thank you, Keith.
oh jeez,
It's awesome.
you got that jersey
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
Lance.
That's right.
Little brown stuff on his nose.
Yeah,
right
a little
here.
brown stuff. You're wearing your knee pads.
So anyway, I want like about 4 to 6 people to help with that room because that's a 12-hour, at least 12-hour commitment. Like I mean, I shift it, putting in shifts and stuff, but like anyway.
But I helped last year where you took people dinner, and I had a really good time in there. And that's the only reason I'm willing to do it again is because I enjoyed it. If I thought it sucked,
Yeah,
I'd be,
I
oh,
don't
sorry,
think
Aldi,
it's-
I'm busy.
I don't think it's the hardest job. I mean,
No,
yeah, it's like you get to meet the people, you get to look at some games and check out all
right,
of
and you can help people because people are like, what? Can you recommend a game for something? I'm like, well, sure, I can tell you something. If it ends up they don't like it, I don't care. But at least I felt like I was trying to help. I've got a solution for Gen Con housing, though. I can solve it.
Go to Vegas.
Nope, right here. I shared my screen. You see this? You can get bunk cots. We'll turn that shit into a World War I troop ship. Every room will hold 20 freaking people. It will take 5 months to get the stench out of that room.
Aldi seriously
But-
considering buying 6 of those right now.
I know. How much are those?
Those are like $250. But,
Remember, Aldi, don't do what you wouldn't do yourself. I don't see you.
Exactly.
as
And-
one of those.
Hey,
No, I'm not-
but look
I'm
at it.
not
If you
joking.
look at it, you can stack those fuckers like 8 tall because they
I
just
don't
keep
think
stacking
they
on
will
each other.
hold the average sized gamer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those are not gamer sized.
Whatever. Hey, don't be a gamerist if that's a thing. But yeah, I amused the crap out of myself with that. I literally thought that I was at Bass Pro looking at guns, and as on my way out, I'm like, I need a stool for shooting, and then I see these cots. I'm like, I just solved Gen Con housing. I need about 50 of these. It would be amazing. But
I don't know if that even solves it because, like you said, they're already jamming 4 to 6 people in a room.
we could fit 30 in a room. I'm just saying.
You can imagine the smell of having 30
Oh, like I
people
said,
in one room.
it would take that hotel a month to get the stench out of it.
I mean,
Forget
I honestly,
smoking.
how many How many people attended at Gen Con, Keith, when you actually could get a hotel room? Like, easily. What was the attendance?
So yeah, I can talk Gen Con because Gen Con started my entrance to the hobby, and I didn't stay. My first full Gen Con, I didn't stay downtown. I didn't realize I wanted to. I stayed someplace cheap, and then I went downtown. It was like the system would bog down a little bit, but I was able to get a room downtown easily for 3 years. And so the past 3 years since it went lottery is when I couldn't. But so it's been somewhat busy, but you could get rooms downtown. They'd sell out in about an hour or so. You look at how fast BGG Con sold out.
How many people, though? How many people was attending?
Well, and that's the thing. It's grown every year. My first Gen
Right, but they've grown it beyond the capacity of the town.
Yep.
Well,
Right, and I don't think that's fair.
Agreed. My first Gen Con was 6 years ago, and we didn't have a problem getting a place. But if I wasn't working for Cool Mini, I wouldn't even been able to go the last 2 years.
But you can still get a room. You just can't get an in-block room. You can get hotel rooms in Indianapolis. And that's the thing. We can go to Vegas, and there's a shit ton of hotel rooms. But you're not connected to the freaking convention center in Vegas either. You're walking and humping your games there or using mass transportation or getting cabs. Any city you go in the U.S. is going to have less connected hotel rooms than Indianapolis because that's their claim to fame. That's why their convention center ranks so high, because they've got more connected hotels than any other city. But they don't have more hotels than any other city. That's the difference.
Orlando may be able to support it.
Oh, I'm sure they can
trade.
afford it. But you're not going to be staying connected to the convention, which is what everybody's bitching about.
But how does San Diego do it? How does the Comic-Con do it? Because they have way more people than Gen Con.
Those people are commuting. They're not walking in. So, and Comic-Con shuts down. It doesn't go late at night like all the other conventions do. So, or as much. You know, the big difference between Gen Con and I guess you'd almost have to say, if you're going to compare it to something, you compare it to PAX, because people are playing games at PAX, right? And that's the thing with Gen Con is you've got all these game activities going into the wee hours of the night. You've got the exhibit hall's not all there is at Gen Con, you know. There's all the other events that are going on that people are going to. So I think that's the big difference you're looking at between, say, a Comic-Con, where once that exhibit hall and that area closes, people are going to go eat. They're going to go actually get sleep and do crap. Where at Gen Con, that's when the shit starts, because that's when you're playing all your new crap. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it.
But do you think PAX and all them really care if you're close to the hotel or not, or
Nope.
to the convention center or not? You know, so we're kind of lucky in this hobby that most of them are kind of close.
Right. There is no good solution to make it any better in Indianapolis at this point, unfortunately. I mean, and you think about it, Indianapolis, when we got the Super Bowl up there, they built 4 hotels. That entire JW Marriott complex with the JW, the Spring Hill, the Fairfield, and the Courtyard did not exist before that Super Bowl that was hosted in Indianapolis. That's a crap ton of rooms that were added for Gen Con, too. And you know what? Didn't even make a dent in the ability to get a room. All those rooms open up and they sold instantly.
Well, here's the deal, and here's the deal, and I actually thought about this for a while, and I was thinking about, because everybody always says, oh, Indianapolis, oh, it's so horrible, they just want to, they go on and on about it, what a crappy place, and like you can't. I'm 10 minutes away from the convention, and this sucks, that, and the other thing. And everybody else says, well, Gen Con needs to do this, Gen Con needs to do that, and so on and so forth. Here's the deal: Gen Con doesn't give a shit. They don't. No. Because and so all these people that spend all this time complaining about this fucking sucks and this fucking sucks and this fucking sucks. Excuse my language. They'll say everything they're supposed to say. We understand your frustration. But they don't care, because they know that there's nothing that compares to it all year round. And the people that are going to go to Gen Con are going to go again the next year. And if they don't go, they're going to be replaced by somebody else. You're going to keep going, and you're going to keep going, and you're going to keep going, because it is, as they say, the biggest 4 days in gaming. And it is. It really is. I mean, for what it is, the spectacle, the excitement. I mean, my wife loves to go. She's not a huge gamer. She just loves to go because of like all the people and seeing everybody and going out after it closes and having dinner and just it's an event and it's a lot of fun. And people are going to go and they're going to pay $300 a night for their hotel room. They're going to, they're going to spend way too much money. You gamers and nerds or geeks or whatever you want to call them, they spend all year focused on these 5 days, roughly 5 days. They take vacation from work, they save up their money, and they're going to go. And Gen Con knows it. The moment people actually en masse actually say, fuck this, I'm not going anymore, is the moment they actually start caring and looking for alternate things to do. But until that happens, and it's not going to happen,
Right.
nothing is going to change, and it sucks, and and it's like, and people need to like vent about it, but it's the exact same. I mean, year in year out, they've been complaining about this. I remember, first Gen Con I went to was like 4-5 years ago, I think. Joel Eddy got us a room 3 days after the hotel block opened up, and we got one like right next to it. I think it was the JW Marriott, actually.
You guys were at the Omni, I think.
Oh, at the Omni, yeah. And it was like 3 days after it opened up, and he was like, "Do you want to go?" I was like, "You know what? Let's do it. Let's make it happen." And that was like when I wasn't, I was just going to go because I'd never been to one, and and there was still a room. It was like there was nothing to it, and it was me, him, and Marco in a room at the Omni.
Yeah,
And
I booked a room at the Wingate where I stayed that once, and I decided I want to go downtown. And it was a month after I booked the other hotel. And it's like, oh yeah, there's a room.
So it's just, and I fully understand being frustrated with it, and I fully understand complaining about it and everything like that. But the people that run Gen Con, they don't care. because it comes down to the money. I mean, it just, and that's ultimately all that matters. I mean, it's like, are we still making money? Yes. Okay, well, that sucks for you, but we're still making money. So.
And the city kisses their butt, right? I mean, not just the businesses, but the city itself. That whole exhibit hall area that the exhibit hall is now didn't exist my first few Gen Cons. They built that onto the ICC just to be able to host it for Gen Con. Gen Con built that thing on there. And that's why they keep going as much as they can, because, I mean, that's where their bread's buttered at this point.
Yeah, and it's depressing, but it's like one of those things too where you just have to face the facts that that's just how it's working, and that's how it's going to work, and you can't do anything about it.
But Gen Con's over double the size of my first Gen Con at this point. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, me too. My first one was 6 years ago. It's doubled since then.
Yeah,
So
I'll figure out when my first one was. Go ahead.
Oh, and like, look at it this way. Like you say, like Aldi, you say like they want exhibitors there. He left.
He said he'd be right back.
He'd be right back.
Oh well, I mean, so Scott said that. Scott said that like they want exhibitors there. Yeah, but you know what? If BGG didn't go, which would be like horrendous. First of all, they know they're gonna go. I mean, it's just like they know that if Scott decided, oh screw you, I'm not going. Okay, shoot yourself in the foot and make less money this year. Because we got a line of people waiting for your spot. And the moment that you click on no thank you is the moment that those people slide into place and take your spot. And now you get to go to the back of the line. They've got everybody by the short and curlies, and they know it.
I think it wouldn't be so bad if they didn't have so much other stuff going on in the downtown area. It seems like every year I go to Gen Con, there's either a concert or a preseason football game or some other big event that draws people downtown that makes the parking in the hotels that much harder to get into.
That's happened.
The biker rally that first year I went was great.
Oh my god! One year I remember there was a concert and a preseason game that weekend, and it was like we had to like drive our car around for like 2 hours to find a parking spot. It was ridiculous.
Who on here most recently registered to attend Gen Con?
The last 4 years I've been going with companies, so I haven't had to register myself since like.
And I mean, originally registered yourself with Gen Con, because that would give you an idea of how much the growth is. So, to give you an idea, my ID number is in the 26,000 block, right? So, there were before I registered, there were 26,000 people registered to go to Gen Con.
Yeah, I'd
I
be curious to
guarantee
see what
you
it is
it's
now.
well. If I created a new guy, I'd find out. But I'm pretty sure it's in the hundreds of thousands.
Oh, I'm
It's
sure.
over 100,000.
It's probably
I
over
mean,
200,000 because
yeah.
you get some turnaround too. It's not all the same people.
Because my first Gen Con was 2008. If I'm correct, it was either that or 2007, and the attendance was either 27,000 or 28,000 those years, which is about what it was. And it's weird because the first Gen Con Indy was 25,000, and then it dropped, and then it went back to 25,000, and it dropped again. Then it went to 27,000, went to 28, dropped a little bit, and then since then it's been growing every year until last year. It was 30,000, 37,000, 41,000, 49,000, 56 and a half, 61 and a half, and then last year it fell back to 60.8 thousand. And so, I mean, it's until last year, it's been growing every year. And I thought it might be easier to get rooms this year because the time of year sucks because it's back in that middle of August like it was a couple of years ago, but it doesn't matter.
Well, I don't think you'll see any more growth though because I think they've hit capacity. They probably hit capacity in the mid 50s to high 50s. I doubt it'll ever go any higher than 60,000.
I think you're right. I think 60,000 is the point at which they can hold people, right?
They'll hit 70,000.
I don't know. I thought it would last year, but it didn't.
I don't see how.
So Keith, I just checked my numbers. So I got an exhibitor set up at Gen Con like 4 years ago, I want to say. And my number for that was 43,631.
What? How many years ago?
About 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. And the attendees that year was 41,000. So
2 years ago, I got a personal membership also.
Okay.
My number for that is 123,516.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were seeing. So
yeah.
I mean, it's growing, and I mean they're doing pretty good for a company that went bankrupt, right? I can't remember what year they went bankrupt, but they got into the stuff with Lucas, and I mean it almost destroyed them. So they've come a long way, and that's another reason that they're probably sticking with Indy as much as they can, because Indy took them when they were on the ropes.
Is that stadium domed?
Yeah, it's got a roof. It's a retractable roof stadium.
Okay.
And last year they actually expanded into Lucas Oil. They took that hallway, they put an arcade down the hallway. They had some open gaming tables down there, and then they put some cosplay and some other events. But it wasn't in the stadium proper. I think they used for the True Dungeon.
I heard this year that they're actually going to be able to use the field.
Yeah. So I mean that will help a little bit. I mean, and Gen Con Indy's not the only Gen Cons they've had. They tried some other Gen Cons. Yeah. There's been Gen Con West, South, East, Europe, Barcelona, UK, Benelux, SoCal, Indy, and Australia. But other than the only one that's been sustainable has been Indy at this point. Everything else failed. But I think the state of the hobby, they could probably pull off another con at this point.
Yeah,
they could probably do a Gen Con California.
But what I was getting at is they could just set the stadium up as a temporary dormitory. There's your sleeping. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, somebody'd steal all your shit though.
Yeah, no way, man.
Hey, set up lockers.
People be shitting on the 50-yard line.
What, Terrell Owens playing again? What?
Yeah, I mean that's just I don't know. It's a problem that everybody has but Gen Con. Because Gen Con doesn't care, and you have to realize that. And then
it's a business.
Because
I think Gen Con's biggest thing with this to house the apartment hotels and all that is they got involved. They set up a lottery and all that.
I wish they'd have just left it free for all.
Yeah, if they stayed out of it, there wouldn't be any of this.
Let the people who really want to do it book early and book right after they check out the year before. Set up their room for the following year.
That's what Joel and I did for like 2 or 3, like for a couple of years, and we paid an extra whatever it was, $98 or $100 a night for it. But it was like there was something so relaxing about knowing I had a room
waiting. I was thinking about doing it in Oranges this year, and I didn't.
Hey, guess what? it was that relaxing thing is why I bought all these BGG premium because I'm like, screw it. I'm never going to screw with getting a BGG con room
Well,
again.
that and you secretly want to date him, apparently. So
Oh
I mean,
yeah. Yep.
That's it.
Wow,
Yeah,
this has all been on all these grievances. It's been 30 minutes on all these grievances.
Yeah.
no, but it's a good grievance. Well, okay, I feel like we've mined that one for a good amount of time. Does anybody else have a grievance that they
Yes.
want to air?
I'd like to talk about Gen Con housing.
Lance, actually, I wanted to say something in response to you.
Oh.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I think Gen Con does care, but they just can't. There's nothing they can do.
I
I wouldn't say it's an uncaring corporation.
I'm sure there's. Oh, look
There's
at you.
nothing
You're
they
like
can
you're
do.
like making sure. I think that Gen Con cares a lot. I really appreciate everything that they do for us. I truly appreciate the pink lemonade and
I criticize them. Here I am criticizing publicly. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm going to tell. I'm sure there's people that are concerned at the company about the growth of the hobby and how it affects their.
I'm sure it's one of those things where
you don't go to Disneyland. They stop letting people in Disneyland.
I'm sure it's one of those things where it's like, in a better world, we would have more options, but we don't. So
grievance.
Keep the money coming. Oh yeah, you went to Disney, right? What's your grievance? What do you got? What do you got for us?
People need to learn common courtesy again. I was in the happiest place on earth and almost got into a fist fight.
No, which would be impressive for you since you can barely walk, but
Well,
what? Tell the story. Tell the story.
Back to the barely walking thing. So, I tried to walk as much as I could,
Yeah.
And the last night there, Friday, we went to the Magic Kingdom. And then we went to dinner and came back to the Magic Kingdom for the fireworks, so the Pollock could see it. He was never there. And my back was acting up so bad. I went to rent one of them scooters. They were out of them, so they said we got a wheelchair, and I went back and forth with Jen with that a little bit, and finally got one. So the fireworks ended, and we were leaving, and a woman cut in front of the wheelchair, and I kicked her, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize what happened." And Jen started, why you apologizing to her? She hit you. And I was like, all right, whatever. A couple minutes later, this dude and 3 kids comes up, and the dude's like holding the kid's head or something like that, but he's got his hand like in my face and all this. Jen said, "Could you keep your hand out of his face, please?" And the dude just went off. Well, I'm trying to keep up with my wife, and you can't get around you, and this, that, and the other. And then at some point, a bitch came out, and I stood up out of his wheelchair. I cocked my arm, and wife and my sister's girlfriend stopped me, like within inches of them. So, just common courtesy, We all know we're cattle. Just go with the flow. What the fuck? That's what Disney World is, cattle lines,
Yeah, I can remember. I mean, and I don't mean to. I'm not people that obviously they have issues. Like you, Barry. Like as far as being mobile or whatever. But when Rebecca and I were in San Diego 2 or 3 years ago, Rebecca got to go there for something for work, and I went along, and we went, and one of the things we got to do is we went to the San Diego Zoo. And if you ever get a chance to go to San Diego Zoo, it is a really awesome zoo. They have like every single kind of animal you can think of. It's a lot of walking, and whatever. But there were a lot of people, with wheelchairs or with scooters or what have you, and most of the people that I saw that were on scooters, and I'm not passing judgment, I'm just saying they were of a certain carriage that obviously walking a great deal would be not possible for them, and I understand there's reasons why people weigh the amount they do. I'm not exactly skinny myself, so I mean I'm not poking fun at any of that, but there's this at the Panda exhibit, which they are very well known for in San Diego. It is not an easy place to get to. I mean, they basically built this entire zoo on hills, and basically, so you kind of go up and down these hills, and then you get to like you get to the panda exhibit and it's cool. You get to see the pandas, and then we got there when they were feeding, and it was really cool and it was fun to watch. And then, so we're leaving, and so basically you have to go up a hill, and it isn't like straight up or anything like that, but it's a good 15-degree incline, and enough that I was like, this kind of sucks, just walking up this giant hill, and 80 degrees out or whatever, I'm sweating, and this woman who was of a larger sort was in her scooter. And she was, trying to go up the hill, but of course, because of her weight and the power of the motor, I mean, it just wasn't going anywhere. And her husband was behind and was like pushing the scooter, so like she could get up to the top of the hill. And this guy, I mean, his face was like beet red, and it was just sweat pouring down his face, and he was like pushing with everything he had, and you could just tell he was totally gassed. And at some point he kind of just locked himself into the place, and was trying to hold her for a moment so he could catch his breath, and it was too much. He was starting to get pushed back, and she started screaming at him like every single what the fuck are you doing? Just screaming at him. And he's just and super loud. He's like, I'm trying as hard as I can. And then thankfully some other people came over and helped. But I mean, I remember seeing that and I was like, maybe this wasn't the excursion for you today. Maybe this was something that you should have, or at least when you saw the hill, maybe you should have said, this might not be the right decision for me at this moment. But yeah, I agree, man. The world's out there to experience. But
don't ever go to Europe, Barry.
That's what I think it is. A lot of
the concept of lines and queues do not exist.
I think that's what it is. There was a lot of foreigners down there at the time. A lot of Brazilian, South Americans, and they don't have the same concept of body space, as we do up here.
Yeah, we were lining up to go into the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, and it's a line. There was a line, and this woman just pushed right in front of me and just got right in front of me. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, because there's no line in her mind. I heard the Vatican is like that too, because they let the first 10 people each day visit the Pope.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm gonna jump on.
There's quite a.
Oh yeah, what do you got for us?
I'm gonna jump on Barry's Disney. We went to Disney with the kids in January, and the two things that would have made my trip to Disney on this crowded day much more enjoyable would be, number one, if people with strollers realized that they didn't have to walk abreast, that they could walk single file.
Yes.
And if people, when they stop to see where they are on the map, step to the frickin' side instead of stop in the middle.
Or walking with their iPhones looking at the map. That's
yep.
They just walk right in front of you,
Yep. The other thing that they screwed up on. The other thing that they did, I think, totally wrong was they had Haunted Mansion is fairly close to Pirates of the Caribbean, and both of those rides were oversubscribed in terms of the line. So they had people in those roped off areas off in the walkway. So they eclipsed the walkway with these incredible long lines of people. And what they should have just done is said, no more lines. When the line gets this long, no one else gets in.
When did you go, Jim?
Anyway. Like January 1st or 2nd.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think the park was crowded when we went, which surprised me. I wasn't thinking we went to the Magic Kingdom on Monday the first time, which you should never do.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Monday
Valentine's Day was Tuesday, and then President's Day was the following weekend. So Friday was extremely crowded as well as Monday and Tuesday.
You know when Disney's not crowded? When the
October.
apocalypse occurs. That's when it's not crowded.
When the apocalypse occurs.
No, I was gonna go Jim. We were gonna go.
My stepsister used to work for Disney. She said Christmas Day was the best day to go.
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if that's the case anymore because they do all those special things now on the holidays to get people to come.
They say that week's the most busiest, Christmas to New Year's. Yeah. But I've gone in September, October, November, May, June, and August. No, August was Pennsylvania. But them months, and I found October was the best month for me. Wasn't crowded. We went like a couple weeks before Halloween.
October was better for me too.
Yeah.
The first time I went at Thanksgiving, it wasn't horrible, but I went another time then, and it was really bad. And I've been at spring break where it wasn't bad, and spring break where it was, oh my God, shoot me now. So,
what's the price of a ticket for the Magic?
This went up. No, they went up. It's 102 for the
102 for one day.
Yeah. Yep.
Does that give you any of the fast accesses?
Oh,
fast
hell no.
pass
It's a rat rates you on that. You got to stay in their hotels. Yeah, hell no. Yeah. No, that's just, you're in. You know, you get one fast pass, I think.
Well, they still have fast passes, but you have to go and get them. You have to go to the dispensers, and you can only get one fast pass every hour, every 2 hours or something.
Yeah.
We stay at the same hotel every time, which is the most expensive hotel at Disney. So that doesn't help us any. Yeah, that's right, sir. We are once we stayed there once, we were ruined and will not stay anywhere else. Well, I would, but the rest of the family won't.
Yeah.
It is so freaking convenient because if you get bored and the family's tired, you can be at the Magic Kingdom in 3 minutes, right? And it's got the best travel to any of the resorts. The nice, expensive one I stayed at that sucked was the Beach Club because it was too hard to get anywhere but Epcot.
I wouldn't mind that. Epcot's probably my favorite part.
I grew up in Florida. I'm kind of done with Disney.
Yeah, me too.
I'm ready to have a break, but my wife freaking loves it. So guess what? We go to Disney a lot.
Yes,
try Legoland. I like Legoland.
I think we'd like that, but I mean, we do the Disney thing, and we don't go anywhere but Disney. And we take our flight. Disney picks us up. We go to the Floridian, and we spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I invited Jeff into so you guys can complain about the lemonade.
Hey, I have a question for Jeff.
Hey guys, mayor of lemonade.
No. Jeff works hard, and I don't want Jeff to take that garbage from us. It's not his fault.
No,
I missed all the garbage, so you're gonna have to dish it out again.
Who is
Not
Jeff?
worth it.
No. It's way too long the first time.
Yeah. So there you go.
I have a question for Jeff.
Oh, here we go.
Go ahead.
Not a serious one, but I saw it on there.
Epcot is the best part of Disney, by the way. Totally agree.
Depends on what you go for. Yeah.
My wife and I go. We used to have timeshare down there. We've only taken the kids once, and we've been about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Keith, what's your question?
What are the qualifications for a media ribbon for BGGCon? Because I saw it on your post about the media ribbon.
Well, we don't give away free badges, so we're
I bought a premium badge, so that doesn't
matter. Just in case anybody else is.
The question is, does this count as media?
Because you'll mention it another 10 times if you didn't hear it. Just so you know.
That's because I was
grand piano.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware of our list of premium badge holders.
Well, did you know that Keith is on that list there, Jeff?
This would count for a media ribbon. If any of you guys, got a badge already, let me know and I'll put a media ribbon on there. It doesn't really get you much of anything. It
gets me to go in and razz Lance while he's working.
All right, Jeff, I don't have a badge and I'm not going. But I want a media ribbon just to lord it over those people.
I think this year the media will work out a little better because last year was like the first time no one knew what it was.
Yes, and the only benefit of it is you can go into the exhibit hall on Wednesday while all the exhibitors are setting up their booths and interview them. It doesn't let you buy any of their games early. You just get to set up interviews without the rest of the teeming masses during, public exhibitor hall access.
Like I said, lets me abuse Lance while he's working.
The TMG booth was a pretty easy setup. It looked like you just took a game out of a box and put it on the table. It was pretty basic.
Bingo.
We look at BGG as being more of a
Flea market.
no. We look at it as like it's like, yeah, if we make some money, great, but otherwise, we're just there to have fun. So
You guys sell stuff last year? I guess
Oh,
you
yeah.
had a little bit. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. Their table looked like a flea market. They had like 5 or 6 things on there on a white table.
that
How
might
about
change.
that,
That might change this time around because I think we might have a Kickstarter going on for BGG around that time. So
Great. Pete, you do have the best, like, non-fun again booth when it comes to showing off your product at BGG, though.
Yeah, they put a lot of work into our IKEA rolling IKEA shelves.
all right. So do you have like before and afters for us, Jim?
Wait,
10
I
of
thought
them.
Pete had a grievance.
Oh, who's got a grievance still?
I thought Pete did.
No, my grievance was Gen Con housing. I wanted to talk about it
That's
all
right.
over
That's right.
again.
I'm sorry.
For another
Hey,
hour.
does Jeff
For
have any
another hour.
grievances?
Yeah, Jeff, do you have any grievances?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, welcome to the Church of Grievance.
Yeah.
Brother Jeff, do you have anything you wish to air?
Elder.
I'm a high priest, but that's okay.
Okay. Very good.
I'm pretty low key. I'm trying to get through the mountain of about 50 to 100 emails I've got just today. It was a busy day for us, but I take it as it comes.
Well, Jeff, I have to know, did you please tell me you took care of Keith's premium badge? He's
I
very-
got up at 6:30 this morning just to make sure that was covered.
Keith, did you hear?
Premium badge? I didn't know that.
Hey, I've had my hotel room for a week. You can give me all the shit you want. Jeff sent the email out. I saw it pop up. I'm like, book now.
I'm actually, one of the things I have to do tonight, and if I don't get to it tonight, is tomorrow, is to go through that list of everyone who booked hotels and make sure they didn't misbehave and book more than one or share the link with friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah, oh, look, I've got a code. I wonder if Jeff actually means he is really going to check to see if I have a room if I give it to all my friends.
Keith was selling.
I have been
on
spot
Facebook this
checking.
afternoon.
I have been spot checking, and I'm going to do an exhaustive PricewaterhouseCoopers level of auditing tomorrow. To
So
make
you're
sure it's
not going to look.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, so Jeff, do you know what before and after is before we dive in, so you can have actually be able to chime in a little bit here?
I am a babe in the woods. I have no idea.
All right, so Jim has actually got the before and afters for us. I have initials later. That's another thing that we'll talk about here in just a little bit. But before and after is a little game that we play. Before and after is like Jim takes two things that are two separate things, but the middle connects them. And the one the connection, the one I always use to describe it is the Indianapolis Colt wide receiver hangs out with Han Solo. And so Marvin Harrison is the name of the wide receiver, and Harrison Ford is Han Solo. So the answer would be Marvin Harrison Ford. So that's what the before and after is. It's actually I think it originally was a Jeopardy thing. So like it was a topic or a clue on Jeopardy. So Jim, how many do you have?
I have 10.
You have 10. That's like the perfect number for before.
Yeah,
and
I
after.
want to say at the outset, if many of them are sports related, I will not do well at all.
Zero are sports related.
Okay.
So here's the deal. So your name is your buzzer. So you have to say so if your name's your buzzer, Jeff, your buzzer would be
Jeff.
Very good. Okay, you are already winning because a lot of people don't understand that when I explain that. So I'm gonna.
Don't pick on Travis.
No. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn the floor over to Jim, and Jim is going to dazzle us with his with his expertise.
All right, so these are 10 of the lamest before and afters you will get. They are in order from easiest to most difficult, in my opinion. So let's see how we go. Are you ready?
Let's do
Number
this.
one.
I'm excited.
Number 1. Thought Seinfeld was a rock and roll suicide in Suffragette City.
Aldi.
Aldi, go ahead.
Larry David Bowie.
Yes.
Oh, good one. Good one.
Number 2. Loved Spidey despite his pride and prejudice.
Oh.
Aldi.
Damn it.
Aldi, go ahead.
Mary Jane Eyre.
No.
Jeff.
What?
Jeff.
Mary Jane Austen.
Yes.
Look at this. Look,
Yeah,
Jeff.
Jane Austen. How did I get that wrong?
Jeff, I just
Michelle,
want to say
kill me.
I love your hexagons on your wall. That is awesome.
Thank you. I designed it myself, but Christine, my wife, gets the credit for painting it.
So I mean, okay, I'll ask you about it after we get done with this. But yeah, okay, go on.
Number 3. Composed famous Droog music for a black magic woman.
Oh, shit.
No, that's the wrong answer.
Give me the clue again. Give me the clue again.
Composed famous Droog music for a black magic woman.
You got half of it.
And there are actually 2 acceptable answers.
Is Google allowed?
No, Google's not allowed.
Oh yeah. No Google.
If these are the easy ones, I'm just going to take a nap. Wake me up. And,
I'll take a stab.
Jeff.
I'm not going to get the first part. Juan Carlos Santana.
You have the last 2 words correct.
Yes.
We've got that part.
That's what I have. So Droog.
Juan Carlos just sounded right for some reason.
Droog is Clockwork Orange.
Yes?
Let's work on this together, everybody.
It's Ludwig von Beethoven, but I don't know how you match it up.
No,
I guess
it's not. It's not.
Come on, Beethoven is the music.
So,
Carlos Santana.
yeah, it is Carlos Santana because that's Black Magic Woman.
The composer that ends in Carlos.
So,
Well, they're singing in the rain.
Anthony's already got it on chat.
why isn't he in here if he's in chat?
Does he have it on chat?
Well,
He
he's
I
googling.
don't think we're ever going to see Anthony again. Apparently,
He's googling like crazy. So
He just said it.
Anthony will whip our ass in chat with the delay, for God's sake.
Well, he did because he's already got this one.
Who sings "Singing in the Rain"?
What did he write?
He wrote Wendy Carlos Santana.
That is correct.
Of course it is. It's Anthony. We
The
don't
other-
doubt Anthony.
The other,
Wendy Carlos?
the other acceptable answer is Walter Carlos Santana.
who is Wendy
Who
Carlos?
is Wendy Carlos?
Walter Carlos did the soundtrack for Clockwork Orange, and he's a synthesizer genius. Transitioned to Wendy Carlos during the making of the movie.
See, I'm gonna totally call BS because there's no way he knew that. Nobody knows that. Yeah, no way. No way.
Yeah, and that's number 3 on the easy scale out of 10.
All right, let's go to the number 4.
I'm calling
Number 4.
BS on Anthony's.
I'm watching Anthony. I'm watching.
Are you ready? Sitting on my tin can, I can see the green, green grass of home.
I got the green grass of home part.
Give me a second.
These people could be fictitious.
Hold on. Anthony hasn't typed my answer out yet.
Lance,
Is it bad that
I got the first half, Lance.
Well, I got Tom Jones. What do you got?
Okay, but it's Major Tom Jones.
Major Tom Jones. Yep.
Major Tom Jones.
Major
Okay,
Tom
thank you.
Jones is correct. Who actually
Anthony.
Because
set their buzzer up on that?
Anthony had it on chat.
Aldi and I got there together, but I'll give it all.
Sure.
We'll give it to
I
Aldi?
didn't know
Okay.
the second half. I knew the first half.
Yeah. Mr.
Number 5.
Tom Jones.
Flamboyant British chronicler of Jack and Diane fighting authority.
Jeff? Boy George, sitting behind the Tasty Freeze. What's his name?
Thank you for playing. Next contestant, please.
Read the question
Read
again.
the question again. Read the question again.
Flamboyant British chronicler of Jack and Diane fighting authority.
Pete.
Oh,
Pete.
Elton John Mellencamp.
That is correct.
I believe the answer is Elton John Cougar Mellencamp.
No,
He
John
dropped the
Cougar's
cougar.
made up.
He dropped the cougar.
But at
So-
the time of that song,
was
Jack
actually-
and Diane, Cougar was part of his name.
Cougar
not
was
his
an
name.
invention of his
Marketer.
producer.
That's right. He never knew it was Cougar till the album came out, and then he said, "Who the hell's John Cougar?"
Here's your trivia for the day right now. I am currently standing in the town that is the small town that John Mellencamp is from and sings about, and I was born in a small town.
Awesome.
That's where I live.
All right,
I'm
here's
sorry, I
another
wasn't
easy one.
paying.
Are you ready? This is number 6.
Mm.
Skilled and drug-addicted nurse with mean martial arts skills.
Lance. Nurse
Lance.
Jackie Chan. Nurse Jackie Chan.
That is correct.
Yep. Nurse Jackie's a very good show.
Number 7. Bouncy Victorian beastie of London, active only for 24 hours. This should probably be like 9 for hard.
I think I got the
9
second
out of
part.
10. Read it. Say it again.
Bouncy Victorian beastie of London, active for only 24 hours.
Mm.
Hurry up, Anthony. We're running out of time.
No, just tell us. I think you got us on this one.
Spring Heel Jack Bauer.
Oh, you were way out of. I was way out of. No, I had no clue.
Spring
I
Heel
didn't get
Jack.
the first part at all. Even
Well,
when you told me.
I know the whole thing about Spring Heel Jack. The whole idea that like there was somebody with cloven hooves running around and yeah, ridiculous. But anyway,
Number 8. Meandering zombies singing about being too drunk to fornicate.
Say the first part again.
Meandering zombies singing about being too drunk to fornicate.
I think I'm glad I don't know this one. just
I
on
know
principle.
the too drunk to fornicate part. I don't know.
What's another word for meandering?
I don't know.
wandering.
Wandering.
Walking.
Oh, Pete.
Pete.
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead Kennedys.
That's it.
I don't know their too drunk to fornicate song. I know somebody else's too drunk to fornicate song.
Well, their song doesn't actually use the word fornicate. It's a shorter word, 4 letters.
you
All
mean?
right.
Well, the one I know doesn't use the word fornicate. So, yeah.
All right. This one you may or may not get. Camouflaged karmic singer declared all models are wrong, but some are useful.
Say that again.
Camouflaged karmic singer declared all models are wrong, but some are useful.
I got the first
I
part.
think I know the second
First
part.
part. What's the second part, Jeff? I got the first part.
Well, I was going to guess Richard Feynman. Yeah, I've heard that quote before, and I thought it was Feynman.
No, it wasn't Feynman.
The first
I'll give you
part's
the
Boy
last
George.
word.
Isn't the first part Boy George?
First part is Boy
Yeah,
George.
first
Yeah,
part.
we got that.
First part is Boy George. Yeah,
George Box. Boy George Box.
Boy George Box. I don't know who George Box is.
I just want credit for saying Boy George about 10 minutes.
Before.
Yeah, you know, we saw
That
it coming.
happens a lot.
All right, this is my last one.
Finally.
Quite a sexy choreographer for a madman with a nasty ancient tome.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Quite a sexy choreographer for a madman with a nasty ancient tome.
All right, it's Fosse,
Evil Dead reference.
Abdul, Paula Abdul.
I need the last word.
A madman with Ninja Tone.
You got the first two words correct.
Allah Abdul Allah.
Hold on.
Paul Abdul Al-Hazred,
Al has read.
the Necronomicon guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's the only time I'll do this because you won't let me do it again after that.
No, that was actually
Well,
pretty
he
good.
successfully completely blanked me. So
But Anthony here.
Yeah.
that wouldn't have changed it any.
Yeah.
Anthony played George Box, apparently.
I've never offered in this, so
So we're never seeing Anthony again.
Why?
He said his
Not
in-laws,
visually.
his in-laws moved in the house, so he can't
That sucks. I know.
go stay up late.
Well, maybe he'll be back. You never know.
He should do it from his car.
There you
Go
go.
to the subway.
Go be that guy hanging out at Starbucks.
Anthony, come on in the closet.
Panera has Wi-Fi. There's nobody goes to Panera.
Yeah. Anthony will be on next week in the closet with his.
This is a late grievance, and I know this is a late grievance, but it'll be a quick one. Panera used to have this really, really good sandwich called the Italian Combo, and I used to get it every single time I went there.
I've never
Yeah, but they changed the recipe, and now it's a pile of crap. And whenever he says, "Oh, let's go to Panera," I'm like, "Oh, I can get the Italian." Oh yeah.
No.
Well, they stopped using real Italians.
Yeah.
They switched to a different cold cut.
All right, so
All right, initials, and then I got to go to bed.
All right, initials. It's time for initials. Yeah.
Actually, I got to play Deep Horizon Zero or whatever it's called. Horizon Zero Dawn. Anybody playing that?
What?
this is what you're going to do, isn't it?
Oh my god, I would totally do that, Keith. Let's set it up.
That's what I'm doing. I'm
I
setting
have
it
it
up
set
right
up.
now.
It's on the dining room table. It's ready to
Jeff
go.
has it
That's
set
why,
up.
that's why I'm standing. I'm setting up my next scenario.
I have another question to ask after initials. Remind me.
Oh well, Jeff. So I gotta ask. So did you just basically put the tape up or whatever, and then in the to make it leave those stuff white, and then you just painted the others, or how did you do your hexagons?
So I did my hexagons. I'll try and be quick because it was a very scientific process. I laid out the points with thumbtacks, and we did the previous wall color was like an off-white brown, so we had to repaint the whole thing completely. But we painted the white first, and then put tape down on the white, and then filled in inside the tape.
I got you. And so, is it supposed to represent any specific game, or is it just like the colors that you picked or whatever?
It's just the geometry of it. I like geometrical patterns. It evokes a little bit of Settlers, just because that was kind of one of the games that got me into gaming. But it's not specifically for Settlers. It's I'll spin it around a little bit here. I'm kind of plugged in, but the room is almost entirely the light blue. There's just a few hexagons that are gray and dark blue and green, just as kind of accent colors. And there's actually a code embedded in the colors.
Cool. I believe you.
Yes.
And the propeller back there is from your World War I flying ace days, and that's probably from the first one you shot down.
It was a gift. I did a family reunion for my whole family out at the largest air show in the U.S., Oshkosh, as it's commonly known. And, they're selling those kinds of things at the gift shop. And so my family bought it for me as a reminder of that. I am all about airplanes. If you've ever heard of the BGG collection being stored in an airplane hangar, it's here where I live. I live on an airport.
You live on an airport?
I do. You know how there's golf course communities?
Yeah.
I live in an airport community. We have about 100 homes that share a runway together.
Actually, I've heard about that. I've heard of that before. That's really cool.
You are a pilot then, sir?
I am a pilot. Not at the moment. I'm in between airplanes, as they say, but I do enjoy flying.
So your house is soundproof? How
No,
does that work living on an airport? Yeah.
we love the sound of airplanes here.
I mean, I know they're small aircraft, right?
Yeah, they're small propellers. In fact, I live I don't live on the runway itself. I live on a taxiway, parallel to it. The runway is about 300-400 feet away, and I often don't even hear the airplanes taking off. They're pretty quiet. But when I do hear them,
It's pretty cool when they take off, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to live that
Been that close to airplanes.
Well, that's super cool, man. I never knew that about you. Yeah, that's really neat.
Yep.
So, all right, cool. All right, well, okay, so this is initials. This is what I'm going to describe to you. I have a list of 15 people, places, things, mottos, whatever. All of them have the exact same initials, which nobody knows but me until I reveal them. What happens is that I will list off 5 clues for the thing, person, place, thing, motto, saying, whatever it is. And then, once again, your name is your buzzer. So, Barry, if you want to ring in, your buzzer is...
Scott.
All right, very good. So once you call it in, you will have to answer. I will do a countdown of 5 seconds if you blank on me. If you fail to give the right answer, or if you like don't answer or whatever, you are out for that item alone. But just that item. You can go on next. You don't lose any points or anything. We play to whoever gets the top score, and then whoever gets the top score wins. The big thing is that we do a giveaway, meaning that like we'll send you, if somebody tweets to Barry. You want to handle the tweet?
Oh, Jesus.
Very good. Okay. So Barry's accepting the. So people that are listening live presently can tweet to Barry at a Gateway Gamer. Correct? On the tweeter machine.
Yes.
You can guess who they think will win and how many points they will score. If you get that correct, then I will make sure you get a cool little gift from Taste Minstrel Games sent your way. The people that are playing the game... One copy of Jab coming your way. No, the people that are playing can win nothing but pride and glory. So...
Lance, before I forget,
yes,
remind me, I want to talk to you about your recent newsletter after we go off air.
Oh, how like the images didn't come through because of the Amazon Web Services thing, and I looked like a complete and total ass.
Well, that's the
That's about right.
Yeah, we're used to you looking like an ass. I mean,
They work now.
Yeah, they work now, but at the time, though, I was just kind of like, great! I sent an email to 30,000 people, and it looks like I'm some moron that can't figure out how to put images in a letter. But anyway, all right. So and then I sat there and like literally like I'm getting. I mean, and then I spent the next like 15 minutes sending the exact same response to people who kept on emailing, "Hey, the images aren't showing up." Yes, yes, I know. Well, no, because I think it's polite to explain what's going on. I'm not going to have them just floating out there in the ether wondering what's going on. So, all right. So, no Googling is allowed, Keith. Yeah, Keith's a big cheater. He likes Googling up the initials after the fact, after they give them out.
And Anthony's in the chat, so don't look at the chat.
Yeah, and Anthony is in the chat. So,
hush, Aldi. Don't you have something better to do?
I will give the initials here in just a moment. I will give the initials here in just a moment, but I would advise, especially to the new ones, either pull out a piece of paper or pull up a notepad on your computer and just, after I give the initials, just start spamming that piece of paper or whatever with your ideas of what could possibly be answers. And then
Sam Waterston.
I am so mad at you, Jim, for not. I had Sam Waterston as an answer, and
I know I blanked. I was tired.
Yes, it was very upsetting to me. But okay, so
all right, I'm killing chat. Sorry, Anthony.
The initials tonight. Yeah, no looking at chat either.
I call it.
The initials tonight are PB.
Oh.
Papa Bravo.
P. B.
P like in Peter, B like in boy.
Sure. P. B. Oh. I'll give everybody 30 seconds to think of things. I'll give our live audience a good minute or so to like tweet their guesses. To make
lower end.
This is nice. Thanks.
Okay.
I like the timpani at the end.
I still believe that that's "I'm a Little Teapot."
Do you know who wrote that song?
Me. All right. So,
You don't
were there initials? Oh, tell me. I actually. tell me.
Merv Griffin wrote that song.
Oh,
Yep.
that's really cool. All right. So here we go. 15 answers. Item number 1. Born on a farm in Texas.
Aldi. Paul Bunyan.
Oh, nice try though.
I love the grasp. No, I love the grasp. That was good. But so there you go.
All right.
So clue number 1 again is born on a farm in Texas. Clue number 2 was a cult leader who ultimately took his own life. Clue number 3 gave his life defending America from Russian invasion. Clue number 4 was shot dead by Wyatt Earp. Final clue is a well-known character actor, most recently seen on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Jeff.
Oh, Keith.
Jeff.
Peter Boyle.
Eh. 5. Keith, did you want to guess?
I'm
4?
thinking again. I had to go back to the
3, 2, 1. And nobody got it. Powers Booth. Powers Booth is the character actor.
I didn't know the name. I would
I couldn't know the first name.
He his first big role was he played Jim Jones and won an Emmy. That's the cult leader who took his own life, and he played the Air Force pilot in Red Dawn.
For some reason, I was thinking about Red Dawn, but I couldn't come up with the name.
Yeah.
And of course, he played Bill Curley, Cowboy Bill Curley, in the classic Tombstone, and he was shot dead. And shot dead by Wyatt Earp.
See, I was getting tripped up by the whole literalness of things.
Yes,
I thought one person did all these things, and I would have been really confused.
Well, he did. He played all those roles.
Well,
So it's a tricky thing. So
I got you.
there you go.
It's
All
not just people, Jeff, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go with peanut butter whenever.
Oh, you shouldn't give anything away. Don't say those things out
Some
loud.
good clues.
Yeah.
Give away a good one.
Right now, all the rest of them are writing up peanut
I'm sure
butter.
Keith will snap it up.
Yeah. All right.
If
here we go.
anybody didn't already write down peanut butter, then
Item number 2. It's wide open. Nobody's got a score. Formed in 1883. Clue number 2. The first product was banking.
Jeff, Parker Brothers.
You are absolutely correct, Jeff. Well done. The first game ever created by the first Parker brother was a game called Banking.
Yep.
It was bought out in 1991 and dissolved in 2009. Had over 1,800 designs to their credit, and Hasbro now owns the company as well as their chief competitor, Milton Bradley. Well done, Jeff. We might have to have Jeff on more often. He's quite the trivia guy.
If I don't jump in anymore, it's because I lost my internet connection or something. So
we're setting you up as a head-to-head against Anthony.
All right, here we go. Number 3. The score is Jeff 1.
Anthony,
all the rest of you.
Anthony has a score already.
It is not. Okay, here we go. Clue number 1 for number 3. While most assuredly discovered earlier, was not categorized until 1774.
Keith.
Keith.
Lead.
Lead? What?
Nice.
PB is the symbol for lead.
Stop.
Oh, wow! You are. That is
That-
incredibly clever of you,
that is
and
deep.
I am not that clever. So,
That is a chemist answer, right?
so while I bow to your knowledge, good sir, you are unfortunately
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a great, totally wrong answer.
It was a great, totally wrong answer. And let this be a lesson to you. Most of you, lead will not be an answer for.
But I do know what the answer is.
Oh, you
But I
do?
do know what the answer. Yes,
Go ahead.
the Peruvian bitch slap.
Oh, are you actually ringing in, or are you just trying to have fun here?
I'm just having fun.
Weighs 800 pounds. Clue number 3. Jim.
Panda bear.
Eh.
Ugh.
Clue number 3. Despite what Gary Larson believes, they do not hang out with penguins.
Pete.
Pete?
Polar
Hey,
bear.
Wait. Did someone ring in before Pete?
I know I did.
Oh, Jeff. What do you got for me?
I wasn't sure who did it.
Well, I mean, someone else may have rung in at the same time. So
Oh, we got to turn to Kabuki Kid for this one?
I don't know. I heard Barry.
Yeah, let Jeff have it. Somebody did as I did. I didn't hear who though.
that was
It
Barry.
was like a three-way tie.
Well, when you guys decide between yourselves.
Good.
I vote for Barry.
Okay, so we have a vote for Barry to answer. Anybody else?
Just
I have-
just
I
give them
already
all
have a
points.
point.
Everybody knows the answer.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they don't.
Okay, well then test
Polar
it.
bear.
Polar bear.
All right. So who all yelled at the same time?
Each
I
get a
think
third
I
of a
did and
point.
Barry did. I heard
Pete,
Paul
Barry,
after
and
me.
Jeff.
unless
Pete,
Paul
Barry,
said
and
the
Jeff
same
all get a
place.
point. All right, fine. That's fine. Whatever. This is fun, right? This is
Yeah.
we're all friends here. So okay.
Yeah, we're not winning anything, right? It's just the people in the chat.
people.
Yeah.
All right.
They're getting jacked.
Item number 4. Clue number 1. Charlie Huff caused a lot of these.
Lead.
Clue number 2.
Big slip.
So did Tom Candiotti.
I don't know who either of them people.
The only person who knows is Anthony.
Clue number 3. Oh, Anthony's screaming this right now. Clue number 3.
Oh,
As did Tim Wakefield.
What was the first clue again?
Charlie Huff caused a lot of these. Clue number 4. It is one of 2 ways a batter can strike out but still get first base.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Pass ball.
Pass ball is correct. Last clue is unlike a wild pitch, if a run scores because of this, it is not an earned run. A pass ball
sounds
happens.
sporty.
A pass ball happens when a ball that could be caught with normal exertion, which is determined by the official score, is dropped or not collected by the catcher, which has led to tons of people that strike out, but they still get first base, and then but the pitcher still gets credit for the strikeout, and so there's tons of pitchers that have 4 strikeouts in one inning, and a couple that have 5. It's pretty crazy. So
That's when the catcher has to run and tag the runner.
or throw to first base.
Throw to first. Yeah.
So you'll see a lot they'll drop it because if they drop on the ground they have to, and then they'll reach out and they'll tag the guy because he doesn't realize it, and then they record the out. So, all right, so here we go.
Is that on the third strike then?
Yes. Well, no, a pass ball could occur other on the third strike. So you could drop the ball on the first strike or on a ball even, and
The
runners
runner
could
could run.
a runner from second to third, what have you.
But the home base runner can't.
The home base runner, he has to basically have gotten his third strike when that happens,
Yeah, okay.
and then
That's
they
the
can.
only time he would run. Yeah.
It's kind of a crazy rule, but anyway. All right, so scores. I think Scott, that's your first, right?
That was my first.
So I mean, does everybody have a point except for Jim?
I'm sad.
Okay, so everybody's got 1. Jim 0. Jim, your microphone's working, so I'm not worried about you. Item number 5. Clue number 1. A posthumous Hall of Famer.
I'm out.
Don't know which one.
Clue number 2. Born April 10th, 1954. Number 3. Manager of 3 championship holders. Number 4. Real name was William Moody. Final clue. His real job was actually a mortician. Keith.
Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer, the greatest manager in wrestling history. That is correct. Well, Bobby Heenan's probably still better. But yes, Paul Bearer is correct.
Sounds like I actually had his name written down, and I did the baseball thing or the championship thing is what threw me.
He
Hall of
managed,
Fame
he managed Mick
They-
Foley when he
the
was a
fact that
champion. Undertaker when
Wrestling
he was a
has
champion.
and all that stuff is just.
And and Kane, Undertaker, and yeah, they all had championship belts when Paul Bearer was managing them. So, Hogan, he was so great. He was awesome. And then when he passed away, it was really cool. I mean, if you're not a wrestling guy, this won't matter to you. But it was really cool. The Undertaker came out and in full character mode. And paid tribute to him. It was actually pretty moving. It was pretty neat. So, but anyway, here we go. So Keith's got 2, Jim with 0. Everybody else with 1.
I think I've only got 1.
Really? I thought
Did
you
I
had
get
one
another
more.
Who just got Paul Bearer?
Keith.
Keith did.
Did I get another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, didn't all of you basically share Polar Bear?
No,
Yeah.
because I was out
Yeah.
because of lead.
Oh yeah, that's right. So here we'll go back. Somebody write this down because nobody got Powers Booth, so that's fine. But Jeff got Parker Brothers,
Yeah.
and then Barry, Jeff, and Jeff's got 2. That's right, because Jeff yelled about Polar Bear as well. So
Right.
Barry, Jeff, and Pete all got Polar Bear, right?
Damn right.
And then Aldi got
Paul
Pascal,
just got 1, right?
and then Paul
Keith
Bear
got
was
1.
Keith. So it's Jeff with 2,
So it's 1-all.
except for Jim,
Jim and Jeff. Jeff has 2, right?
and Jim has nothing.
Yep.
Right. My
All right.
life is a failure.
All right, so somebody's writing this down because I can't. Anyway, all right, here we go. Number 6.
Do we
Number
trust
1.
anyone else to write it down?
Yeah, I trust you. And I'm pretty sure Paul Tompkins is keeping track of it in the chat anyway, so he always does. Clue number 6, or I should say, item number 6. Clue number 1. Aztecs used it as a toothache remedy.
Pete.
Peanut
Peanut butter.
butter is correct. That's.
I was gonna guess.
You always get your own answer stolen from you.
John Harvey Kellogg used it as a medicine at his sanitarium. The U.S. is the world's leading exporter, and the U.S. is the world's leading consumer, which is kind of cool. We spend over $800 million a year on peanut butter.
Aztec thing threw me off because I didn't think it had been invented until George Washington Carver.
That's actually a fallacy. The final clue is George Washington Carver did not invent it. No. So, all right, here we go. Item number 7. Anybody's game. Even Jim's game right now.
Lots of questions left.
Yeah. Born May 8th, 1940. Was a reporter for the Washington Post. Served in the Marine Corps. Was a speechwriter for President Lyndon Johnson. And the giveaway clue is, despite all these things, did not become famous until he wrote a book about a shark that ate people near Amity.
Oh, Pete.
Jim.
Peter Benchley.
Peter Benchley. That is correct. Yeah. Yeah, he was a speechwriter for Lyndon Johnson. He was like, it's kind of neat. I never knew that about him. I was like doing some research on him.
The one that I knew.
That was a Pete question.
That was totally a Pete question.
I just didn't know all of his history. I only knew about his book.
Yeah. All right. Item number 8. Founded in 1933. Was originally a radio manufacturing company. After sales dropped, the name was purchased by Israeli investors for a new computer company.
Oh, Pete.
Pete.
Packard Bell?
Packard Bell is correct. Pete's starting to pull away here. Fortune magazine attributed the company's early success to false name recognition.
We had a Packard Bell.
And then
I had one too.
It's a piece of junk.
It was a piece of
after
the worst.
I read some cool things about it. So and then the final clue was after posting losses of over $1 billion, the name was removed from success over $1 billion over 2 years.
Spent $1 billion and
the name was removed.
That means they made some money and still lost $1 billion.
Well, what they did was, because if you remember the Acer computers, because they were like kind of a subsidiary of Acer, they actually had like a Windows program to run like that was basic on there, and then basically what happened is that like Microsoft Windows basically made it like so you couldn't have that anymore. So basically, like they were really, really popular for a while, and everybody bought them. And then plus they were like the first company that actually went and tried to make like the boxes look all sleek and like kind of like like cool looking, so people saw it.
Swooshes and like
so it looked cool and it looked impressive, but it really wasn't, kind of thing. So anyway, here we go. Item number 9. I think what Pete, you got like 3, 4 now?
I think it's 3. I don't
3?
remember.
Yeah, so somebody's keeping track.
The chat says 4.
Oh.
Well.
There you go.
Wow.
It's still anybody's game, though. If Pete gets a couple of these, he's done. He's the winner. So
I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll find out next week if I won.
Item number 9 is 64 years old. Clue number 2. Real last name is, I apologize, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Anderzajewski.
Pete?
Pete.
Is it Pierce Bronson? Oh, I tried.
I like the effort, though. Clue number 3. Has 7 platinum records and 3 gold records. Jim.
Pat Benatar.
You are absolutely correct,
Nicely
Jim. You're
done,
on the
Jim.
board. You're on the board.
He said the records. I felt like an idiot.
Well done.
She was the first female performer on MTV, and the final clue is, I really like the song Shadows of the Night.
That's not a giveaway.
Do you know that she was operatically trained?
I did, because I read her background today. We're running from the shadows of the night, so baby, take my hand to be alright. Yeah, it was such a good song. I remember the video was like a World War II like
the video was great.
Yeah.
Yep. Very atmospheric.
There you go. All right, so here we go. Jim's on the board. Way to go, Jim. Item number 10. Still anybody's game, though. Those of you with 1 point need to start running the table if you're going to catch up. Item number 10. American business owner, newspaper publisher, and politician.
Oh, fuck.
Clue number 2. Ran a crooked statewide lottery.
That's all of them.
You're correct.
If I could give a point for humor, I would. Clue number 3. Well known for hoaxes and practical jokes. Clue number 4. At the time of his
Aldi?
death, Aldi.
P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum is
Nice.
exactly correct.
Nice.
Way to go.
Yep.
Yeah, at the time of his death, he was considered to be the most well-known American in the world. And
Nice.
the final
Good job,
clue is,
Aldi.
while he saw the public as suckers, or he said while he pretended to see the public as suckers, he was actually, after his death, considered to be quite the philanthropist. He actually set up he basically gave away most of his money. He's there's the weird the kind of statues and stuff for him that are well deserved. He actually cared. So all right, so Aldi, you have what, 2, 3?
2.
2.
I think.
Pete's
2.
Pete's stuck at 4. Jeff's got 2. Barry and Jim have 1. Keith, you have 2.
Keith has 1.
Keith has 1. So we got 3 left. No, we have 4 left. Sorry. So
you're saying there's a chance.
wait. No, I'm sorry. This is item number 11. So we got 5 left. So here we go. Anybody's game still. Clue number 1. At 16 years old, left school to pursue. Can't talk. All right. At 16 years old, left school to pursue commercial illustration. Clue number 2. Shortly after this, he became friends with a fire eater who taught him the act, and he joined the circus. Clue number 3. However, when he entered his chosen field, he described it as if the fates and the job had found him.
Say that again.
When he entered his chosen field, he described it as if the... However, when he entered his chosen field, he described it as if the fates or the job had actually found him. Clue number 4. Depending on who you ask, he is commonly thought of as the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th best at his iconic job.
Pete.
Pierce
Bronson.
Yeah.
Jim.
I didn't say anything.
Oh,
Jeff did.
Jeff. Pierce Brosnan.
Brosnan is correct.
Wait, you said Brosnan, didn't you?
He said Bronson.
He said
Bronson.
Bronson.
He said Bronson.
Come
Bronson.
on.
He said Bronson both
have to
times.
say-
I was going to correct him last time
You
as
have
well.
to say it correctly.
And that's
No, that's slimy. I'd give it to him.
Well,
know
you
who you're
can
talking
give
about.
it to him, but the official rules say he doesn't. Anyway,
Pete, I'm giving you my point.
no, it's all right. It's okay.
There's a reason I didn't correct him last time.
Thank you,
No
Jeff.
points for you.
If you're not going to play by the rules, why play? So
Because there are no rules.
the 5th clue is that is a playable character in one of the best-selling video games of all time. GoldenEye was such a good game. It was I don't know. If
I watched a run through just last week of GoldenEye.
it's such a great game. It's seriously just amazing how good that game is. For the time,
It was the first really good multiplayer.
yeah, and 4 players
agree
running
with
around
Jeff
shooting
there.
each other. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Quick.
All right, here we go. Item number 12. Born March 11th, 1964. This clue is more for me than anybody else because you probably aren't going to know it. But this is one of my favorite movies. Appeared in the criminally underrated movie A Midnight Clear. Clue number 3. In 2013, created the animated intro for Monday Night Football. Clue number 4. Works with his close friend Mark Wahlberg on many projects. Final clue. While still active, his most successful and popular work to date dealt with a high school football team in Texas.
Keith.
Keith.
Peter Berg.
Peter Berg is correct. The director, actor, writer, producer, Peter Berg. If you see him, you'll say it's that guy. And really, the only reason I include this is because he did appear in the movie A Midnight Clear, which is one of my absolute favorite World War II movies. And I strongly suggest, if you've never seen it, watch it, because it is both heartfelt and gut-wrenching, and has one of the best final scenes of any movie I've ever seen. So there you go. If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Is it better than La La Land?
I haven't seen La La Land, and I have no intention of seeing La La Land. Okay. I'm sure the movie is amazing.
The end of La La Land is pretty great.
I'm sure for people that want to watch La La Land, I'm sure it's just absolutely phenomenal. But I have zero interest in seeing La La Land. So anyway, there we go.
Okay.
Here we go. So Keith, well done. So Keith's got 3 now. 2. All right. So we got 3 left. Pete's got 4. Jeff has 3.
With an asterisk.
No, there's no asterisk. Keith has 2.
Did I get 2?
All these got 2. So yeah, everybody, but even Jim. If Jim got the last 3, he would force a tiebreaker. So everybody technically is still rolling.
I like the way you frame that. Is even Jim.
All right, so here we go. Clue number 1 was the 11th of 12 children. Number 2 got his lifelong nickname when he wrestled an animal at a carnival. Aldi.
Paul Bunyan?
And I'll repeat clue number 2. Got his lifelong nickname when he wrestled an animal at a carnival at the age of 13. Clue number 3. Was drafted by the NFL but never played a single down. Clue number 4. Was offered the head coaching job at Arkansas but joined the Navy after Pearl Harbor was bombed.
Jeff. I might get the first name wrong. Is it Paul
5.
Bryant?
Paul Bryant is right, Jeff. Holy cow. We need him playing Anthony someday.
Paul Bryant?
Bear Bryant.
Paul Bear Bryant.
Bear Bryant.
Like the most successful college football coach of all time.
Well, maybe.
If you
Saban now.
If you're in Alabama, you better know who Paul Bear Bryant is.
That's right.
So that's a sport thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sport ball. So there we go. All right, here we go. 2 left, and we got a tie at first place with Jeff and Pete at 4. All right. So, clue number 1. Real first name is Charles. Clue number 2. Has sold over 45 million records. I just want to let everybody know that Jim is now out of it. He can't possibly win.
Hey!
Clue number 3. Holds the record of having 1 or more songs on the Billboard Top 200 for 220 weeks in a row. Clue number 4. Much to the horror and chagrin of his church followers, released an album of heavy metal covers. Jeff.
Pat Boone.
Pat Boone is correct, Jeff. Yes. Pat Boone.
Peter Boone.
Yeah. Released an album of heavy metal covers in 1997.
Yeah. He lived next door to Ozzy.
Yep, yeah. And then the last clue was his close friends and was once a next door neighbor of Ozzy Osbourne. So, and they still have dinner together. They're like really good friends. All right, so basically everybody's out. Everybody else can play spoiler. If anybody but Pete gets this next one, Jeff is first-time player, first-time winner. Look at that.
I think I'm about to lose my internet. So
no. so chat with Anthony. Tell him I said hi.
Anthony's texting him right now. It's Paul Bear Bryant.
Who is this Anthony you speak of?
Anthony Ricano. He is like he in the Secret Cabal, right, guys? Is that what he's?
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. Secret Cabal.
Yeah. Secret Cabal. No. He runs the Cardboard Jungle. Is a podcast, and he's just a trivia like mastermind.
He slaughters us every time he plays. He gets 8 questions right.
Yeah, and like on like the second clue, and he's all Anthony.
Anthony.
I'm having flashbacks to Oscar.
He can get 7 questions right when there are only 4 that have been asked. That's how good he is.
That's good. That's good. Man, if I was giving away points for being funny tonight, Jim, you'd be like, well, you'd have more points than one.
You'd be in the
All right, so final clue or final item. Clue number 1.
Jim. Paul Bunyan.
Paul. It's not correct.
Thanks for taking that away from me, Jim.
I appreciate the swing and the miss, but that was
a pass ball.
Yeah, no, it is not fastball. Jim, you are out for the rest of this particular.
Peruvian bitch slap you is what I'm going to do. All right, go ahead.
All right, so what was it? Oh yeah, here we go. I lost my sheet. Hold on, it won't come up. Oh, there we go. All right, so clue number 1 is 39 years old.
Pete. Going for the gusto. Pottery Barn.
And with that, Jeff wins. How anticlimactic is that? But we have to play it out in case Jeff gets it right. So then, because that might actually affect the win. So right now it's Jeff with 5, and it could be possibly Jeff with 6. Clue number 2 was the 8th overall pick in the 2000 draft.
It's not Pottery Barn.
It's not Pottery Barn.
and it isn't lead.
It's sport ball again.
It's sport ball. Clue number 3 predicted the end of Super Bowl 42. Clue number 4 lost 2 years of his career after shooting himself in the leg in a New York nightclub. Keith.
Oh, jeez.
Plexico Barres.
Plaxico Barres is correct.
Yep.
And the final clue is caught his last touchdown in 2012 from Ben Roethlisberger 11 years after his first one that he caught from Ben Roethlisberger.
You give me a Steelers question. So.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, well done, Jeff. Way to come out of the woodwork and slam home a win. So
I just got the easy ones.
Brilliant job, Jeff.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to give you one. Group of people who talk about nonsense at 10 o'clock on Wednesdays.
Peruvian bitch slappers?
No idea.
I was thinking pathetic bastards, but that's okay.
There you go.
To be fair, the just so you guys know, the tiebreaker was Paul Bunyan.
What's give me the clue at least. See if I would have known it.
Well, no. Yeah. Well, the first clue, I try to go easy with the first clue or whatever. Yeah. Like the first clue is
Had a blue ox?
No. Stories like stories in the subject circulated for 30 years before they found their way to print. It was like,
see, I would have said Pecos Bill.
Oh, maybe. That's cool. And then the earliest recorded reference is in the 1904 editorial of the Duluth News Tribune.
That's where you go to Paul Bunyan because that's Minnesota.
Yeah, and then that's when probably you'd hit there, and then it's like was involved in the timber trade in the Dakotas, and then I think then you would have gotten it immediately at that point.
Somebody won jab.
Oh, somebody guessed Jeff with 5.
Yes, Sir Bob.
Sir Bob,
Wow.
well done. Sir Bob, you know how to get a hold of me if you're listening. Send me your address, and I will get you a copy of Jab, or probably not a copy of Jab, but I will get you a
Harvard. That little $5 game you got.
The Yokohama is fastly. It is on the boat.
You know, I saw the Coliseum.
I got mine the other day.
It's pretty nice. The sleeve is very nice.
Yeah.
So does Jeff know his responsibilities for next Wednesday?
Oh yeah, Jeff, you're gonna have to show up, and you are in charge of giving out the initials. So
are you guys all gonna be in Gamma?
Okay.
Well, that's not next. Is that next week? No, it's not next week.
The week after. Next week.
Jeff, you are. It's like a command performance from the Queen.
And Jeff, the initials you get to use are XX.
Okay.
You get to pick your own initials.
You pick your own initials. It is 15 items and a tiebreaker, and each one has to have 5 clues. So.
Okay.
And it's people, places, things, whatever you want, and yeah.
Sometimes there's actually relevant questions, and they're not sports.
Yeah, and fewer than half of them should be sports.
I only had 3 sports questions, and then I honestly,
so many.
You had more than 3.
I will certainly not have very many sports questions.
Well, let me see here.
No, it's at least 4.
Hold on. Let me see here. Powers Ruth, Parker Brothers, Polar Bear, Passball. That's 1. Paul Bear is wrestling. That's not really sports.
That's sports.
That's not sports.
Nobody knows.
Entertainment.
Nobody knows wrestling except
well, that's something wrong with you because wrestling is one of the last pure entertaining things that's out there. I guess if you include, there's 4 if you include the Paul Bear, but because there's Paul Bear Bryant, Plaxico Barres, Passball, and Paul Bear, but I don't think Paul Bear counts.
2 letters for the initials?
Yes, yep. 2 letters. So, and
but you can cheat like Lance did with P.T. Barnum.
That's not a cheat. That's not a cheat.
It's a cheat.
Patrick Barnum. That is his name. So, one of the things about it is there were so many that I wanted to do. I wanted to do Paperboy, like the game, but it's 1 word. I couldn't use that one.
Okay, so it does have to be 2 words.
It has to be 2 words. I wanted to use
Playboy?
Yeah, I wanted to use Playboy as well, and that was. Did you see they're going to put naked girls in it again? They kind of realized that
they never had naked girls before.
Well, no. You heard that they made a big deal about the fact that they were going to remove it, and then now they're like, hey, you know what? Seeing as how that didn't help anyway, now we're going to go ahead and put the naked girls back in.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Egon said it best in 1986 in Ghostbusters: "Print is dead."
Print is dead.
And it
spores, molds, and fungus.
Yeah, there you go. I think people will still buy books because they're a book is something you put on a shelf and you can look at it and it has a tangible, real value of seeing it and stuff like that. And plus, there's you're still you can have a Kindle and it has all these books in it and everything like that, but it's not the same.
So they just had a story on NPR a few weeks ago.
You're interrupting me, but that's fine. That's
that's okay. You need to be interrupted at this point.
Oh, okay.
Now you know what it's like.
When you have a wine on vacation, you go and say this is the best wine ever. And you share it with your friends, and it tastes like crap. And they basically said that a lot of your enjoyment comes from the circumstances in which you enjoy something. It happened to be at the beach. You were with your loved one, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I agree with you, Lance. I think books, there's more to the experience than just reading what's on the page.
Yeah, it's
there's
just
the holding, the weight, the smell, the experience.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but magazines. I mean, maybe people still read magazines. I don't know, but I mean it's just it's just not my.
Keith, are you playing Gloomhaven?
Yes.
That's not fair.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm fighting all freaking elites on everything I've had to fight. So.
What characters are you playing?
Brute and a Tinker.
Oh, I got to tell you, that Spellcaster is a ton of fun to play.
I'm playing by myself with a 2-hero party, so I thought a healer and somebody to eat damage would be the best one to start with.
Yeah.
But I just took out a living corpse by since I knew he was going to come, this one kind of has a choke point. So my Tinker threw down a poison trap that does 2 damage and poisons him. So it instantly takes 2, right, when it walks into it. Then he ran away. And then as it steps into the doorway, because living corpses are slow, he shot him with a 3-point bow. It was a -1, but it still took 3 damage because of the poison. Then my Brute runs up, plows into him with his knock two space attack or movement and knocks him into another trap that was around the corner, and then walked up and just smacked him to kill him. So I killed him in one round.
Nice.
Good job.
I love this stupid game.
Keith, you know you're not allowed to talk about games on here.
Yeah,
I have
What the hell's wrong with you?
I have an actual game question for you guys. Has anyone played both the original version and the English version of Mysterium?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's been a while.
So
Play
can
the
you
original.
please tell me what the difference is between the original and the American version?
The American version sucks except for the art and presentation.
It has a really stupid scoring thing
prefer-
for endgame.
I prefer the end game. I prefer the end game in the American version.
Well,
Oh, heresy!
Blasphemy! But I played the game like a bunch, right? I played the original, like Polish version or whatever it was. Like
I'm only mad because I didn't get to do it. I still remember the first time I played Tajmanis Domosto, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, this game is amazing!" I was just so it was so much fun. I remember
So what's the fundamental difference?
the there's like a weird, stupid end game. You can play it with the Polish rules, and it's just fine. But I mean, there's just this really dumb, tacked on. Well, you play the game like really cooperatively, like the entire game, and then the end you have this like kind of like spastic free for all kind of thing that just is.
So when you say there's a terrible end game, you're talking about the Polish version or the American version?
American.
The new American version.
Hey, Aldi, you're muted. Come on and actually give your real opinion now.
No, don't you? Oh, look at this. The lovers are spatting.
Oh.
Look at that. He's gonna tell him to take off that jersey.
Yeah, take off the jersey,
Take off my jersey.
and not for a good reason.
No.
No. So, no.
I've played it both ways. The American way is not broken in any sense, but it
doesn't really fit. You know, it doesn't.
adds an MVP kind of an aspect to it that doesn't really need to be there. Where you're suddenly competing for who guesses it best there at the end.
So I don't like the those little tokens you use for telling if someone's right or wrong and getting points.
You basically you're
That's
betting
what
on
I
each
know.
other.
I think that so what I'm thinking about doing is saying those are ridiculous. Take them out, and instead, based on the number of players, reveal how many cards you get at the very end for your silent bet. But that's just really irritated me is those stupid tokens. I think it's just an artifice that's added in that's not needed.
Okay, Aldi, what do you actually think? Because I agree with Jim. That's my problem with it.
I stepped away. What are you saying?
We wanted to know why you actually like it. Because we
Because
don't
the
like
end game is very climactic in the American version. You don't just pass or fail. You have this whole kind of like reveal one thing at a time, and it just adds a little more climactic ending to it.
And my real problem with that ending is the best way to play it is to play suboptimally and miss on purpose to get more clairvoyance so you can see more cards, which is completely broken.
If you don't play with the spirit of the game, yeah, it's stupid.
And the fact that you're fully cooperative and talk about everything the whole game, and in that last part you go, nope, you're not allowed to say shit.
Yeah,
That irritates me too.
I agree.
So
But so what I was saying before you muted me is the games that I've had with the American version have been way more memorable. Like I can remember the endings because we came down to like the very, very last clue. There was a tie.
The problem I had with
Like
it,
there was a tiebreaker, and it was great.
the problem I had was during the play, we had one player who really wasn't doing too well, and so a lot of people betting that they're wrong just adds to their frustration with the game.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I got sick of people putting both the yes and no counters on a person's guess, knowing that they'd score a point for one of
I
them.
still feel like the best rules for that game have not been written.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
you.
I can see that.
There's something. There's another game there, and I kind of thought they might have figured it out with the American version, but obviously they didn't because lot of people I talk to don't like it. I just prefer that end game because the end game is super climactic. The way the reveal.
The other difficulty I have is that if you play that more than 2 or 3 times with the same person as the ghost, you start to know how they think, and the clues are a lot easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
So Aldi, I gotta ask a serious question though, Aldi. I mean, does it feel weird to be so incredibly wrong?
I'm actually. It's usually I don't have a dissenting opinion against you guys, so kind of close. I'm just telling you my experiences with the American version have been like I can remember them. I remember how it ended.
So I've only played the American version, and I've heard people say that the original is much better, and I was curious to know why.
So here's the thing: if you don't answer if you don't get everybody to the end game in the original version, you basically just lose.
Right.
If the timer.
Yeah, you have to play well to get to the final round to be able to guess it at the end.
I don't remember if the American version has that rule, but everybody gets a guess in the end game, right? It's just how many guesses do you get?
No,
how many cards you get to see.
Or how many cards you get to see.
You lose still, I think.
No, I think you still
No, the worst case scenario is you only get to see 1 card.
Right, so you're probably going to lose. But at least you get to the game. Whereas the original version, you just stop. Which is like, oh, we lost. Okay, well, game over, right?
Where Jim was talking about the game with you kind of get the meta game going when you play it a lot with the same people. And I know this could be Hidden Signs helps with a lot because it adds a lot more cards and mixes it up. But I've done this because I wanted to see how well it worked. Play the damn thing with Dixit cards; it totally works.
Cool. I feel like I like the original characters better. There was more stuff on those characters.
Yes.
Like the newer characters are all the same hue. Like the colors are all kind of similar. Like a dark gray, kind of purplish.
Yeah, that's sort of a sepia tone to them.
Right, whereas the original characters had a lot more contrast.
I think there's more stuff.
And there's more goodies. There's a little more...
I think they probably did that so that you couldn't say, "Oh, that's a green card. It's obviously this green character."
And we have played that way many a time in the original. Like color communication is very easy in that game. In that version.
Yeah, the thing that I want out of that game is I want more of a feeling of tension. Like it is a haunting. It is a communication.
Yeah, I feel like the game has not. It's kind of gone off the radar for me. Like I haven't played it in probably a year, and I kind of don't really want to play it. I mean, I want to try the expansions, how that goes, but I feel like I played it out. I got its essence. So I feel like if there was another kind of game with a different, with the secret communication, or what is it, like nonverbal communication games, those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got a question for the group.
Like we played Imagine on the cruise quite a lot. Now it's really fun. Party game.
What do you got for us, Jeff?
I got if we're off the subject of Mysterium, and if I've suddenly been passed a torch or tasked with doing this initials thing, real quick, what are some of your recent initials, just so I don't duplicate things you guys have been talking about?
Keith, you kept track of this for some reason.
No, I didn't, but I did JB is what I did.
I mean, don't worry about it. If you do the same thing, you'll do the same thing, but it won't really matter. But I mean, I think we did. I know we did PP once.
You did HH.
Yeah, we're all a bunch of 12-year-olds.
I know
HH.
HH. We did HH.
DM we've done.
DM
SW.
we did. Yep.
SW.
I think SW was the very first one.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, well, you haven't hit the one I'm thinking of yet, so.
Yeah, and that's
QZ.
I'm not going to reveal anything because I don't want you guys studying for next week.
Yeah, that's the big thing. You can't. You have to keep it to yourself.
I'm going to say, it's a good thing I've sold out badges today, and I don't have anything to do for another week because this.
So here's the.
But
there's no cruise coming up or nothing.
Hey!
I got to go pack 2 pallets.
Jeff, you did make sure that Keith's badge is set aside, right?
I need to check on his hotel room.
Okay.
Hotel.
Oh, dude, spell his name wrong.
Oh, please.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
You could somehow
So
pull
Jeff,
that off for me.
Phil Collins.
your goal for initials, Jeff, is to not only
Could you please put Phil Collins on this? Name your price.
Well, you saw where the premium badges started at. That's kind of my high-end price.
And then for where he's from, put say in the air tonight.
Or Land of Confusion.
There you
All right.
go.
Jim was about to give me some sage advice.
no sage advice. I was just saying what I would love to see with your initials game is stump Antony. If you can do that, I will applaud you at every stump.
Well, I do have some very obscure areas of knowledge, but I don't want to just do it to.
Yep. We won't be seeing.
Why not?
Well, remember, like you
It's
want
still
to
like everybody else 0, Anthony 1. So it.
you try to keep it. You try to keep it like, you try to throw people like different ways, basically, to like try to like get them to like think it's one thing, but then switch it and change it and make it be about something else.
Yeah.
And then your other big thing is that you try to the fifth clue gives it away. It's just like it's like so you or theoretically it gives it away.
But did I remember correctly in our 15 there was at least one that none of us got?
Powers Booth was the very first one, and I think that's just because everybody knows who he is, but they don't know who he is.
But I think what Lance, the thing that Lance said that I think is really good that he does is it sounds like you're talking about a person, but then you find out you're talking about a role that the person played. Or it sounds like you're talking about something else and it turns out to be a book or something like that.
The better ones that I've seen him do is when he's talking like about a comic book character, but he's giving him born and what date and talking about their comic book role, and then all of a sudden you're thinking of real people, and all of a sudden it's like Reed Richards or something like that. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
I did MK. My Michael Knight one was great for MK. It was like it actually listed his birthday and everything like that, and it's just like it's just like. Talks to his car on a regular basis. They're like, "Holy crap!" The giveaway one. Yeah, I like that one.
All right. Well,
that and everybody gets Mortal Kombat every single time for MK.
Yep, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
I wanted Moon Knight. Nobody ever does Moon Knight.
Oh, I did Moon Knight.
You did do Moon Knight.
You did do Moon Knight?
Like, yeah, I did.
I don't remember
Moon Knight is
Moon
Knight's one of my all-time favorites. Mark Spector, I believe his name was.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, hey Jim, how excited are you to watch? How excited are you for the Daniel Rand Iron Fist?
I'm very excited.
Oh
when
man,
does that drop?
That's gonna be awesome.
What is it? Early April, I think.
Yeah,
I'm very happy for that.
I'm super psyched with the Nintendo Switch this month, and then all the new Netflix stuff the next month. I'm super pumped.
Yeah, it was. I'm looking forward to it.
The trailers look good. You know what else looks interesting is I'm not a big fan of jump scare movies, and I'm not a big fan of franchises that go that route. But there's something oddly compelling about this new Alien Covenant movie that I might actually go see it.
Yeah, it looks it looks good. It might stink, but it does look good right now.
I think. So this is what I was going to ask you earlier, is it would be interesting to pre-rate movies and then see them and then see if they meet the rating. So, for example, what will you give King Kong based only on what you know?
I can't decide. I don't know if I'm going to go see King Kong. I mean, it's part of one of those things where I want to go see it, but I mean, it was like I was kind of actually let down by the King Kong movie that Peter Jackson did.
Oh, it sucked.
It was just kind of like the whole like King Kong fighting T-Rexes on trapezes, basically. I mean, I was just like, this is dumb. Why am I watching this? It was just, it wasn't good. I wasn't impressed.
I think they showed the whole movie with the new Alien trailer.
The new one they just released.
I'm like, what is there to go see now?
So have you figured out what the deal is? What's the deal with the spores that go in and get Fassbender's ear? Do we know what that is? Is that like a slow transformation?
Well, and here's the deal. So So, and maybe somebody can explain this to me. So, I'm one of like the 7 people that liked the first one. I can't think of the name right now.
Prometheus.
Yeah, I'm one of like the 7 people that enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Except for the guy who's in charge of the maps got lost. That's just,
he was also high on drugs. I mean, like,
and they're like, oh, look at the alien. Let me go touch it.
Well, we can argue about this. We can argue about this.
Let's set those aside.
And then
we'll just say, okay, was the movie very good?
Once again, here's you know why he did it? Because the movie needed him to do it, so they could tell the story.
Lost. Yeah.
That's why. Just
speed of plot.
Yeah, that's my line. You don't take my line from me. Anyway, so
you set me up for it.
No, so I actually enjoyed Prometheus. I liked the kind of like quasi mythology of it, I guess. Did you know that like one of the reasons that one of the things that they had like tried to think of how to work it in was that like the reason why the aliens, the Prometheus aliens, whatever, were upset with humans was because they actually sent one of their people. Like the idea was and then they realized they couldn't do it. But like one of their aliens actually they were going to find out that had been sent to Earth, and like to give them knowledge and everything like that. And they ended up crucifying him, meaning that like it was Jesus Christ kind of thing. That was actually thrown around as a possibility, and they didn't do it. But anyway, so I enjoyed Prometheus for what it was. There was some stuff that was like dumb, obviously, but I liked it. It was okay. And so the whole thing is
every movie company should hire someone that just
watches it and says, but once again,
that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of. Like, why are you doing that? Like, but that's the director's job, right?
But then you go back to the whole thing of it's just like, well, they make the movies and they must know. I mean, they got to know. Saying, well, that's kind of dumb. But people,
but after you spent like $10 million on that one scene, you're like, I'm not cutting that thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, I wonder how many of those dumb things weren't actually dumb if you saw what they cut out.
Yeah,
true.
Did they ever do a Prometheus director's cut?
I have not. I haven't seen the movie at all.
So anyway, you know what? Screw you. You should have seen it. Spoiler alert. So like the whole thing is that she leaves, right? And she's got. Doesn't she just have like the head of the android?
Yeah.
She's got Fassbender. So she's got the head of the android, and they're leaving, right? And the whole thing is that they're going to go and they're going to find out, where those aliens came from. And they're gonna go and they're gonna figure out what the heck's going on. All right, cool, done. Wasn't this movie supposed to be like tied into that somehow?
From what I understand, yes. It's supposed to tie in.
But I mean,
Prometheus, which was a prequel.
Yeah, okay. But so obviously, like the android is just another one of the
androids. Yeah.
They all look the same. So I mean, that's why is what he is, kind of thing. But so I don't know if it was supposed to tie in or not. I mean, it just kind of bugged me because I thought that the next movie was supposed to be like a sequel, but it obviously isn't.
But no one saw the Prometheus, right? So,
well, no, tons of people saw Prometheus. They decided
after the bad reviews came out, I think that killed it.
That's what?
I think that movie got killed pretty quick because it was rated R too, right?
Well, it was pretty bloody.
PG-13.
Yeah,
can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was
because if a bad review for a rated R movie comes out, it's dead. Like that's just because people don't go see rated R movies.
Right.
Yeah,
so they're all trying to be PG-13 now.
Has anyone seen that movie Life?
No, I have heard about it, but I haven't seen it yet. No.
Is it out yet?
I don't think it is, Jim. I think it comes out in a couple weeks. Yeah, I don't think it is.
What's
the offhand? I don't know.
What's the first big blockbuster that's supposed to come out this year?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that looks good.
Well, Logan.
Logan on Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know. Logan's got too much of a build-up. It can't be good.
It'll probably be the best Wolverine movie ever.
What'd you say, Aldi?
It'll probably be the best Wolverine movie ever.
They
I mean, it doesn't have very high to go. I mean, it's like
there's no way they could truly do Old Man Logan, which was a fantastic comic. If you haven't read Old Man Logan,
why couldn't they do that?
Well, just because go read it. Have you read it?
Yeah, it's too bloody and
It's too bloody, and also there's a scene where he's fighting a bunch of Hulks, and so you just couldn't transpose it over. But I mean, I do like they're obviously taking a lot of like the touch point situations or whatever that I think are good. And as far as it's just I think they'll do a good job with it. And plus, it's every review I read about it without spoiler-free reviews is that it is violent and bloody as hell.
Didn't everybody lose their powers in X-Men 3? Is this post X-Men 3? Or is this in the weird timeline of the other?
I saw Xavier there, and I'm like, I thought he died.
Yeah, didn't he die? He died in X-Men 3.
He didn't die in X-Men 3.
They killed off and neutered all of their greatest heroes in X-Men 3.
Yeah.
Wait. X-Men 3, which one is that?
The one with the Dark Phoenix.
And if you haven't seen it, don't go see it because it's not good.
They
kill everybody, and they take away all their powers.
They killed Cyclops and Professor X, and then took away. Yeah,
they kind of rebooted it.
That's not the one where they had that serum that took away the mutant powers.
Yeah.
Magneto.
But I thought at the very end of that, Magneto's alive at the very end of that, right?
He is alive.
Yeah.
I don't remember Xavier being killed.
Powerless. Pretty sure he dies in that one.
Yeah, she gets in front of him in the wheelchair and basically disintegrates him into nothing.
Right.
Yeah, but wasn't there a special end or something like that where it was like
he's like playing chess and he's trying to move the pieces and he can't move them.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wiggles. I can't remember. I don't even know.
Yeah, is he playing chess with Xavier at the end?
I don't think so. I could chat. Help us. Phoenix kills Xavier.
Yeah.
So he's
doesn't his wife or whatever hear him? He like his disembodied voice or something like that, like as a special ending or something.
Isn't that where he like inhabits that body in Moira's lab or something like that? Great, now I have to watch a freaking movie. Thanks a lot.
Don't watch X-Men 3.
Go ahead, watch it.
You'll be like, why did I watch this?
Because I watched it for Jean Grey.
She's not in it.
Yes, she is. Then we're talking about a different movie. Then.
In it, but not really. Anyway,
that is a good question, Aldi. About
who directs the X-Men movies? Is it Marvel Studios or is it?
No,
it's
Fox.
No, it's not Marvel. It's
Fox.
But what about the prequels, the First Class stuff?
That's Fox, though.
Fox has the right.
Was pretty good, but the most recent one was not good.
I would have loved that First Class if they hadn't made Beast look like such a goofball.
Well, it's weird because Beast is a cool idea for a hero, and he's got a lot of he's got a ton of depth to the character, and Beast is one of my favorite X-Men, also just because of the fact, just what he was and the anachronistic nature, the fact that he was super intelligent but looks the way he does, but it just doesn't translate really well to a movie, sadly. I mean, you have to. It's one of those things where it's like you can look weird, but only to the point where you don't have to CGI the person throughout the whole thing, and that if you're doing practical effects, they don't look dumb. You don't look like something from an episode of Power Rangers or something. It's like. Yeah. So you have Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like you have these people that have green skin or whatever, but they're still humanoid. It's like you went out and you get this giant wrestler, Dean Batista, to play Drax, and he looks like Drax basically because of the fact that he's just a huge human being that's heavily muscled and whatever, and so you can buy into it a little bit. I don't know, but Beast just it's tough. It's tough to buy into him being there and doing his thing.
I'm okay with Beast. I think the makeup they used just put him in that uncanny valley where it's just not right and unsettling. It just looked too comical to be taken seriously. All right, guys.
The X-Men movies are dead to me again. After that,
well, I think Logan will be good, but I mean, as far as like, I mean, every review of it has said that it's go see it. You'll love it and you'll want to see it. So, but I mean, it's not really truly an X-Men movie, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It has Xavier.
Yeah, it has Xavier, and it has X-23, who is a really good character in her own right, you know, as far as the comics go. I thought they did some really good job with that.
Say good night, everybody.
All right, good night, Jimbo.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to bed.
Come on, friends. Ta-ta, darlings.
Good night, Petey.
Good night.
I think the band's breaking up.
But Guardians of the Galaxy will be the big one. I mean that most recent trailer, perfect. I mean, I had heard Kurt Russell's in it. I looking at him, I knew he was going to be Starjammer. You know, or Peter. You know, you knew he was going to be his dad. You know, and so like the fact that they didn't try to hide it and try to like be cutesy with it and just reveal it in the most recent trailer, I think was a great choice.
About Guardians of the Galaxy. So.
You know,
Didn't they reveal who the dad was in the first one?
No, they were very vague about it. Like
they said something like, "Oh, we meant to deliver him to his father," or something.
Yeah, weren't we supposed to find him? You know, like were we supposed to bring him to his dad or something like that? So
yeah, I thought there was a scene where.
Worse, man, I'm spoiling worse than Lance.
It's a movie that came out 3 years ago, and it was one of the most popular movies that was out.
I feel like everybody's seen it.
If you haven't seen it, then you're what the hell, you know?
Yeah, we're well past the spoiler embargo.
So you have a thing there
with Howard the Duck.
So yeah, you have Guardians of the Galaxy, and so the comic book, in all honesty, it's an old school comic book, and it I mean, if you go back to the Silver Age comics where they kind of like created and did their thing, it's got some cool iconic characters, and I was pretty excited when they announced that this was going to be the movie. And I remember I went to it with my eyes open, and I said, well, let's see how if they do pretty well with this. And they did a really, really good job. Obviously, that first movie is just good. I mean, it's just an incredibly solid movie.
I think they needed it because the Avengers movie was not good.
It was not.
I don't know what to talk about.
That was not a good movie at all.
I don't think
I walked out of Guardians first time with my boys and basically felt like this was their Star Wars.
Yeah, that was a very common feeling about it, as far as that goes. And you had the iconic characters, and each of them had a role, each of them had a time to shine, I mean,
very formulaic. Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that you had two CGI characters that you just didn't really notice for CGI at all.
Oh yeah.
You totally bought into the fact
that they weren't humans, right? So that makes it a little easier.
Yeah, I mean, you bought into the fact that there was a tree and a raccoon, and it was, and they were just they were just there and they were doing their thing. And I think one of the cool things about it was that even though what's his face did the voice for Rocket, you couldn't you barely noticed it was his voice. Yeah. There were like maybe one or two instances where it kind of flicked in just a little bit, and you're like, oh, that sounds like Bradley Cooper. But for the most part, he adopted a different voice. It's kind of like Mark Hamill doing the Joker. I mean, it's like you would not know Mark Hamill does the Joker unless you see him actually doing the Joker voice, because it doesn't sound like Mark Hamill, which I thought was pretty cool. And no, I mean. Yeah, I mean, like, they found the absolute perfect person to play Star-Lord. I mean, you had to have a guy that had that perfect attitude.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
And he is like a modern sort of Han Solo, honestly, which is which is what works and works really well.
Could you see somebody else doing that role?
Han Solo or Star-Lord?
Star-Lord.
There's got to be somebody out there.
Do you know if there was somebody first? They said no, type of thing. Like,
I heard Harrison Ford turned it down. Vin Diesel turned it down. They just gave him that little voice part.
Vin Diesel does a lot of voice work. I mean, he did the voice of he did the voice for the robot in what's that animation movie? The giant robot movie. Iron Robot?
Iron Giant.
Iron Giant. Yeah, he did the voice. Oh, man, I can watch that movie over and over again. That's a good movie. Horrible. I mean, just what a dusty room you're in when the Iron Giant closes his eyes and says Superman. And as he flies. Yeah, well, I'm not saying, but I mean, once again, 20-year-old movie.
Yeah, well, some people may not have seen it.
If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. It's just kind of like
I just watched that thing on that today.
Yeah,
the guy who played the voice in the Lego Movie, that guy would be good in this movie.
That's the same guy, dummy.
Oh, is it?
Like,
really?
Are you talking about like who plays Emmett in the Lego Movie?
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, suck! You actually got me. That's the dumb part. I was like, he's effing with me. That's what I said, and then you were like, really? And I was like, oh God, you're so dumb. And I was like, then now, no, I'm dumb because
Ryan Gosling could be.
I just watched, and I've watched it now like 3 or 4 times. I watched The Nice Guys again today because I had just needed some background noise. That is such a good movie.
I don't think I've seen that.
That is. If you have HBO now, watch The Nice Guys, and it is. And the weird thing is that a lot of the mannerisms that Ryan Gosling does as his character in that movie, and this is going to sound weird, it's a lot like Michael Mendez, my boss, and so I'm just sitting here watching it and I'm giggling. It's like ridiculous thing because I'm just like. Because it just doesn't make sense, because I see Michael in the role, but no, definitely, and I already talked way too long about how good of a director that guy is, and if you haven't watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, you really need to. So if you're still watching this and you want to know about an awesome movie, watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I watched The Thing again for like the billionth time. That is such a good movie. I could watch The Thing.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
That's so good. It works on so many crazy great levels. It just yeah.
The remake is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, it fills in some blanks, which are kind of neat. I remember when I watched it, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this, and I was just like, all right, and it was just like jump scare stuff, basically. There wasn't really any tension. And then the other thing was, it was like that kind of, but there was like some of the explanations as like, why that axe was in that one wall and stuff like that, which was, I was like,
probably better left unanswered.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could have just left it, oh, we don't know, just kind of like that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, so I liked it for that they kind of like I said, they filled in the blanks here and there, but yeah, it didn't need to happen. I guess I don't know. I just it's.
Hey, Seth Jaffe.
Hey, it's Seth Jaffe.
I played Loot Architects over the weekend. It's really good.
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah, I mean it's Glenmore, but it's like I feel like the hexagons they're hexagons, right? Yeah. Are a better grid system for that game.
I thought it was improvement for sure.
Than Glenmore, yeah, for sure. I felt it was just a little like bland, like as far as the names and like it's very like icon heavy.
Yeah, well, that doesn't bother me. I'm a little down on it though because when I played it with Michelle, and she really didn't like it. Like she's like, "There's nothing about it."
Oh, I thought you said you liked it.
No, and I thought that I guess it wasn't such a big surprise because she didn't particularly care for Glenmore, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah,
But
if you
I was
don't like
hoping
Glenmore,
you'd like this better, but no.
it's Glenmore, but it's basically
Yeah.
It's a little more bland, I guess, even though it's sci-fi, but it's good. I mean, I liked it a lot. Also played London Key to the City. Key to the City.
How's that? I haven't played that yet.
It's good. It's a streamlined Keyflower. Like
That's what I heard.
They removed the currency and or they removed the green meeple.
Oh yeah, the green evil was interesting.
Yeah,
that was my problem with that. Was that I actually liked the.
And you don't need to worry about your roads so much. Some adjacency matters, but it's really played down. And then they don't. The end game is not as like important. I mean, it's important, but it's not like crazy important like it is in Keyflower.
Interesting.
So, it's all right. I mean, it's super streamlined. If you're looking for what I would say better Keyflower, I don't know if it's better, but it's definitely easier to get. Like, and not have a bad game. Like, I think you can mess yourself up in Keyflower. With the movement.
Well, I like the Keyflower, all right. I haven't played it a lot.
Yeah, it's just a more streamlined, like straightforward.
I mean, I like things that are streamlined.
Yeah, you might like it. I liked it. It's fine. I don't know if I like it better. They've taken some of the complexity out of it, so that could be good and bad. I don't know.
Cool.
I feel like if you own Keyflower and you really like Keyflower, you may not need London. I mean, if you like London, it's got a lot of cool London stuff in it. It's great. It's all the landmarks of London. And it has like a third step. So when you upgrade a tile in Keyflower, you flip it. Well, there's a third step, and some of them become monuments.
Interesting. How do they do that physically?
You have 3D cardboard cutouts. Where they sit like this and they stand. Yeah. So you get this like nice little burrow with your monuments hanging out, and it looks nice. And you have like you have 6 different color connections, so you can connect the tiles with road. They're not roads. They're like either electricity or sewer or gas or water. But they really don't play into a connectivity network grid. Like you don't move stuff on them, but you do try to make certain patterns of the grid. So, like you want to try to get all the yellow ones in a row, like longest road kind of thing.
So in this one, do you not need
all the different colors coming out of this tile, and you get more points if you have all the different colors coming out.
In this one, do you not need to move your product around like in the first one?
No, that's removed.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Did you guys see anything about Richard Reese's next big game? I guess.
What is it?
You?
Oh, I figured when you say it, I'll remember, but I can't think of it.
What's that? Did Scott cut out?
I can't remember. I can't remember what it is.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure I could describe it, but it seemed like a neat sort of physical mechanism. But I can't. I don't know if I remember it properly to describe it. Oh well.
What's the name of it?
So speaking of interesting central mechanisms, I saw and you guys see that I guess the Kickstarter project for Dubai.
No.
I saw. I tracked it down after you posted the thing in Slack today.
Yeah, so I guess that's the Zinsleys, Cardboard Edison. Isn't that them? Those guys? Is that who that is? The designers of that game.
What's the name of it? Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai.
Keeper, by the way, is the name of that. Keeper.
Oh, that's right. Keeper. That's
Dubai. Rebuild the ruins.
Yep. Yeah, it's from I forget their names. The Zinsley guys from Cardboard Edison are the designers, and I guess what's it called? Greater Than Games is putting it out. That looked pretty neat for a central mechanism, for like a Euro-style central mechanism. There, I didn't love that. I thought it was silly to call it. They're calling it worker rotation. But then that's a silly name. But yeah, when it's your turn, it's sort of like a tweak on that Glenmore mechanism where whoever's in the last place gets to go next, kind of thing. But when it's your turn, you put your dude on whichever action you want to do, and they get in line, and you do the action, and then everyone who's there gets to do the action. So it's almost like role selection that way. But then, whoever was last, in line in that action, that's whose turn it is next. So it's sort of like a cross between the Glenmore mechanism.
So if nobody
and
ever chooses the action where you're on, you won't get a turn.
Well, you got multiple workers, but yeah, I guess that's
I
true.
feel like that's been done, but I can't remember what it was. Maybe I'm misremembering. It feels familiar, but
you could have multiple workers on one spot. So if anyone, and there's only 3 spots. So if you really want, I don't know, money or something,
you're not gonna
multiple workers on the money spot, and then anyone goes there and you can get a bunch of money.
Right. Kind of seems a weird theme for Greater Than Games, but I guess they have, since they acquired.
Yeah, well, it appears to be in their fabled Nexus line because I think they put a futuristic spin on the theme.
Okay.
It's like rebuilding Dubai after a Holocaust, not a Holocaust, but like a
disaster,
apocalypse.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's time to start looking at new games again. Like Gamma Trade Show in 3 weeks, or 2 weeks, 3.
Oh, is Jeff Anderson here? Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Seth, how you doing?
I didn't see you hiding back there. I was wondering whose Settlers of Catan wall that was.
I'm doing research for my new assignment.
Oh, are you running initials today?
Yeah.
He won actually earlier today.
They didn't tell me that the winner had to do it the next week, and so I played my best.
You would have thrown the game.
I would have sandbagged. But
now you know my discount.
What were the initials today?
PB.
PB. Yes.
Am I allowed to blame the fact I was playing Gloomhaven on why I did so poorly tonight?
Paul Bunyan was not.
No, because we all wanted to be playing Gloomhaven instead. So
yeah, I just finished my scenario.
I would much rather be playing Gloomhaven. Which scenario is it? Is it
number 2?
Number 8.
I don't know about Gloomhaven.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're pretty far then.
I won on my last possible turn before one of my guys got exhausted. He was playing his last 2 cards that he had, period, left.
Yeah.
And I killed the monster by my Tinkerer hook shotting him through 2 traps to drag him through 2 traps.
I couldn't really think of a good use for the hook line.
Oh, you drop the traps in front of you.
That's the Tinkerer. Yeah, I haven't made that connection yet, but
yeah.
Oh yeah.
My son.
Get over here.
I'm not a good game player.
Come here.
We that's how our first scenario went. 2 of us were exhausted, and the third one killed the final monster with a retaliate move on his last turn.
So while I was playing this, I unlocked a total of 5 locations between treasures and city quests and all that stuff while I was setting this up. So I have 5 new locations opened up to go to.
Yeah.
My board has 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 locations that I have available to go to.
Have you unlocked another character yet?
No, I have not. I've got one guy that needs to.
There's 17 characters in the box, isn't there?
Something like that. He needs to kill 11 different types of dudes to unlock, and the other one needs to do 10 more scenarios.
Yeah, that'll be a while. Have you played it yet, Lance?
I've just unboxed it, took a look at it. I mean, it's just one of those things. I don't play games for myself because I'm not lame. I have friends. So
nonsense.
And then I'm waiting to get my peeps together.
sycophants to come over and.
I play every game I have by myself at one point in time. That's how I learned the game.
I think
Did you
would
do it
it
on
actually. Yeah, if you could do a Gateway Gamer runs through.
Not yet. I'm not ready
No,
yet to go
You're not
back.
ready to get back into it.
I'm still having problems with. There's a couple problems. But one's with my hands going numb. I still can't hold things and shit like that.
Quit masturbating.
You should do more drugs. That'll help.
And that's the other thing. The drugs I'm on are really messing with my concentration. So I'm having a hard time editing and shit like that. I was when they just changed the medication when the last video came out. Yeah. But eventually it'll come back.
Well, I hope you get to play it soon. It's a really good game.
Yeah.
Although Lance, I'm predicting Lance will not like it though.
Oh.
Really?
I don't know why. You just seem to not like what I like.
Well, what does that tell you?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me anything really.
Yeah.
We're not meant for each other, Lance. We just don't like the same stuff.
I can't help but notice that I didn't get an email about being a special guest again this year. So
I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. Lance.
Oh, I had a question for you guys.
We actually have a first timer special guest coming this year.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Who's the special guest? He has been out.
Jeff Canada.
Rich Summer. He's never been a special guest.
Do board game, video game podcast, didn't he? Back when podcasts first started.
Wait, what was the name?
Jeff Canada.
Jeff Canada.
2 N's, 1 T. You probably don't know him.
I think I know. Well, I don't know him,
You know?
but it sounds familiar. Is that the guy? What?
Totally right.
I'm not selling him very well.
Yeah.
He did the Totally Right for like 5 or 6 years or something like that.
Before that, what did he do? Do you know? Because
I don't know. Was he on like G4?
Anybody?
I didn't know if he was on like One Up Yours or one of those podcasts that I used to
He's
listen
been
to.
in the video game biz for a while.
Yeah, I used to listen to video game stuff. I know he was on one of the stuff. Before I got into board games, I listened to video game podcasts constantly. So.
Yeah, he's a good host. Like he has a good like presence and like good questions and a very positive attitude towards things.
So not like us.
Board game now?
He's been doing board games for a while, like a few years.
Okay.
Been doing like
Never heard of him.
he does a board game segment in his video game cast.
I got speaking of video game guys like him, I got to meet Dan Shu at BGG Con last year.
Dan
Because
Shu
I
was
used
there?
to read his Dan
I
Shu
know. I
was
read
there.
like he was PC Gamer guy, right?
Yeah, I got
He
to
was
meet
there and
him.
he did introduce himself to me. I've talked to him for. Oh my god. Do I give a presence where I don't want to meet people? Do I
No,
get there?
you not once you get to know
You're
you.
just
I know, but
always
like-
busy, Aldi. That's what it is.
If you
You're
get out of
always
that
running.
glass cock, you might meet some people.
I got to step out of the glass cock every once in a while.
Hey, are we still gonna do try to get something done like boomer wise, like in the Glasscock room? Were we actually gonna try to do that? We had
What was
mentioned
the-
it last
What
week.
was the plan? I don't remember. We were going to play. You guys were. What was it going to be?
I think we were talking about the possibility of like actually like playing like D&D or
It was
something.
only like a 6-hour episode, so it's like kind of hard to remember all the things.
It was before I went to sleep, so.
Yeah, I think we talked about like possibly playing like a D&D session or something like
Was
that.
it D&D?
Like, yeah, and having
It
like
was a game, but I don't remember what the game was.
yeah, and just someplace quiet,
Yeah.
where we could have our glass cock and
We can play
Yeah.
Gloomhaven.
I guess we could.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I would totally play Gloomhaven.
I have a random, unrelated question, real quick.
What's up?
On YouTube, if you go this is a Hangout screen, right? But if I go to YouTube and watch, any video, really, did they change the format? It seems to me it used to be
They're
the
constantly
video was in the left and the comments were on the right, but now it's like the comments are below. Is that a setting, or do
if
they
you're
change
in
the format?
theater mode,
It's
if
something.
you
Yeah,
that's
theater
something-
mode does that.
How do you
Click-
get out of theater mode?
go in the lower right-hand corner of the video, it'll say theater mode. You just click that off.
Oh,
Next to
sweet.
full
Thank-
screen there. Yeah.
It'll shrink.
Yeah, I don't know. I must have accidentally done that one time, and I was like, "What is going on?" Because I can't see the chat very easily. Okay,
Mhm.
that's all.
You could also
Thank you.
pop the chat out now,
Yeah.
which is nice.
You can.
Yep.
Hop
There's
out
a-
chat.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's
Yeah.
even better because now I can look at the chat.
Yeah.
Now I have the chat on in front of this window here. That's even better.
Hey Jeff, I got my Plano boxes today. I should have ordered them from Bass Pro to you.
Yeah.
They would have came quicker.
They would have.
I thought you were shipping them straight to me.
Come here. I know. I made 2 orders. I ordered from Cabela and Bass Pro.
Oh, and Bass Pro?
I wanted to see which one we get here first. Bass Pro came first.
Okay. Yeah, they have not shown up yet. So the game is still sitting and taking up the entirety of my dining room table, so I can pack it away.
What game is that?
Gloomhaven.
Oh.
We're pathetic, aren't we?
You know,
I
it came
feel
out.
like
I think
I'm
it came out at the right time too, because there's really not a lot of new releases right now, except for like Coliseum.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of other games like
I'm sorry.
Vying for
What
time.
was that other game?
Coliseum,
Brought to you
Which has a
by
fantastic-
Taste Mr. Games.
Shitty little.
which has a fantastic slipcover. It's
Oh,
like the best.
Fantastic slip.
Oh,
Like the best
whatever.
slipcover
in the trash yet?
I did. No, I'm kidding. I didn't
You
need to
didn't
pick
do
it
the
out.
slipcover version there, Barry?
I
Are you
didn't
guys
need to
sending,
pick it out.
are you guys sending out the slipcover version as like for review copies, or are people just getting the regular,
They're getting the regular.
plain old box version?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I was surprised that was in a cool stuff box. That
Yeah.
kinda weird for me.
Does it ship naked?
Yeah,
Is it
it
okay
just,
if I don't do any sports questions
that's fine.
for
That's
initial?
fine.
It just surprised me because Jenna is, what did you get ordered from Cool Stuff? And I'm thinking I haven't ordered a game in a while. Yeah.
I haven't heard
Oh,
anything
was
from
it
those
ship naked? I thought it was ship
jerks.
naked.
Huh?
It was cool stuff that shipped it.
Yeah, that's what it said on the box.
You just ship naked. Right on me.
Oh yeah, I had a question for you guys. Did anybody see Arrival, the movie?
Yes.
I read the book.
Okay, so here's the question. Say, if for those of you who haven't seen it, I'll explain the premise in a minute. But say an alien ship landed. All right, what would you like to be done? As in, contacting or whatever. And how do you think the U.S. or, like, say, Russia, China would handle it? And how do you think, like, a third world country would handle it?
Well, somebody's going to try to have sex with it because that's what people do.
No spoilers, by the way.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I think a third world country would reach out to whoever their benefactor first world is and defer to them.
No, I think it would be a lot of religious reaction.
I think they try to find out if they can get better stuff from them so they can take over the world with it, quit being a third world country.
I don't want to say anything because I've seen the movie. I mean, I can't come up with any original ideas.
No, I'm just curious. Like, say the ship came down, how would you personally like to see it handled? Would you like to see our government handle it, or our scientists, our military?
Well, government and military, I think, would get involved no matter what.
Well, I'm a peacenik, so I wouldn't want any military involved.
I wouldn't want it to be that way, but I don't see any way.
Yeah, I don't see how it wouldn't be.
Yeah,
Military.
that's right.
Any contingency plan, which they're written,
Yeah, I'm sure.
would involve that.
If anybody's got the technology to get to this planet, we got no chance.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Well, if they're hostile. We can't defeat anybody that has the technology.
I think in a third world country, it would be more of a religious reaction.
So do I.
Yeah, I can see that.
Although I'm that's such a naive answer for me, though. I really don't know.
Well, what would you think our first instinct would be? Would you think they were here peacefully or hostile?
I think it would be exploratory I don't know that it would be hostile because unless they're bringing their whole civilization to move here, they're coming here to find out what we've got because it's not practical to move a crap load of stuff across the freaking galaxy to do stuff, right? So
the problem, I had to let my dogs out, so I apologize if somebody else is I already mentioned this. The problem with any idea of like being visited by another civilization, and whatever. The problem with that is that it's a cool, fanciful idea, and it makes for wonderful storylines. But when you actually consider just how truly immense the universe is, it's people say needle in a haystack. I mean, just the idea that the idea that another civilization would ever find us and then actually have the technology and the wherewithal to send something to us to talk to us. I mean, it's just like we got so many problems on our own planet of everything that we're doing. You think if we got a radio message, like a serious radio message, and we said, and it was even in English, so we understood it. From a planet that was like, and the closest planet to us, it was Alpha Centauri. So it's like 4 light years away.
Yeah.
We wouldn't care. I mean, it would be one of those things where it'd be like, yes, it'd be huge news. We'd say, wow, we're not alone. We would send them a message back. We would say, yes, this is us, blah, blah, blah. And then we'd wait 4 years for it to come, or whatever it would take.
It would take 4 years to get to them and 4 years for their response.
You're talking about
you can say hi once every 8 years.
If there was a technology that could let an alien come to us, it would be a faster than light technology or a space-time warping technology.
Right.
Of what we know, there's no linear travel in the galaxy as we know it, right? So.
Yeah, assume you can travel at the speed of light. Assume that's as fast as 37 years to get these habitable planets.
And if you actually want to have to if you want to bend your brain around the idea of being able to punch a hole through space and time, which some people whose mind work on a level that I can't even reach have proven that it's the theory of it makes sense. Whether or not anybody would ever have the amount of power and energy that it would need to be able to do it is questionable.
Just need some spice melange,
as we understand it, though. I mean,
but it's just, I don't know. This is, and I've said this before. This is what sucks about getting old. Amongst other things, is that you lose the ability to keep buying into the impossible or the fanciful. Because when I was a kid, I totally bought into UFOs. I bought into the Loch Ness Monster. I bought into the Abominable Snowman. I believed in Bigfoot. I believed in sea monsters. I believed in all that stuff. And it's just like, and as you get older, you're like, no, it's just cynical,
like, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not even cynical. It's just realistic.
It's smarter that you understand the world.
I mean, if every single, or I shouldn't say every single, if damn near every single person is carrying a goddamn camera on them at every single time, why don't we have billions of pictures of UFOs at this point? Because everybody, in the 70s, everybody was seeing UFOs.
There was TV shows about debunking it all.
Yeah, everybody was seeing UFOs, but I didn't have my camera with me. Oh,
what was that William Shatner show in the 70s?
Who knows?
In Search Of?
No, that was Leonard Nimoy. But yeah, In Search Of.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, but I mean, but now that everybody has, and a pretty damn good camera too, that's capable of video and all that other stuff, now all of a sudden, it's just like, I remember I read a great essay that said the best pictures are fuzzy, because the pictures that are actually like crisp and clear, they can debunk them in a second. They're like, yeah, that's a 747, flying at high altitudes, and there's a light glare, and so it's I don't know.
There's an next CD about that.
Yeah. it's too bad because it sure would be cool if there was if you know is there life outside of us? Definitely. Will we ever know it? No. You know, it's just
Oh yeah, it's not.
It's you know we got enough garbage to clean up on our hometown. You know, you know, let's worry about what we got here and before we start, you know, jumping through hoops to try to figure out which stuff is going on. And now I'm like the grumpy old man. You know,
Well, it does suck because now you're focused so much on this like internal stuff that there's no time or any like money for
external thinking. You know. Well, yeah. I mean,
it's so nationalist now that. I mean,
You're back.
I've given up on all that.
Yeah.
Space travel.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. It's just, you know.
I mean, it's just not as realistic as it used to be.
No.
I mean, like manned mission to Mars or, something that could happen.
Right.
What does that say? What's an XKCD thing?
XKCD.
Oh, yeah, I seen a rocket launch. I forgot. When I was down there, they launched it on Kennedy.
It says percentage of the U.S. population carrying cameras everywhere they go, every waking moment of their lives. And then underneath the graph, in the last few years, with very little fanfare, we've conclusively settled the questions of flying saucers, lake monsters, ghosts, and Bigfoot.
Yeah. No, and that's just one of those things where it was like, and there was always, the only people that got abducted were the ones that, were alone, just like out in the middle of nowhere, nobody around, and there's actually a pretty good documentary. I mean, if you just want to watch a guy that's just a complete Fruit Loop,
that stuff.
That's on Netflix, and it's like the curse of the man who always sees UFOs or something like that. Something along those lines. You can find it just by searching UFOs. It's just this complete nut job who basically he's got all this video of all these UFOs that he's seen, and all of it are these little tiny dots of light out in the middle of nowhere that, it's just like, yeah, I mean, and now with all this drone technology and shit that people have, like, you aren't telling me that, like, that's not prompting a lot of this crap. I mean, all these people got these drones that they fly around. You can just put a flashlight on that, fly it over somebody's house. It doesn't make a lot of noise. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, aliens are attacking. No, it's just some guy went to Radio Shack today, and, he attached a glow stick to his, his freaking drone. And now, just.
Has anybody watched this Ultimate Beastmaster, which just popped up on Netflix?
My kids love that show.
Is it just like an American Ninja?
Yeah, but it's kind of funny. It's like they actually kind of thematically. It's like the beast is actually
right.
like you're crawling
through it.
Yeah, when you fall into the water, they turn on these lights to make the water red, so it looks like you fell into the blood of the beast or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've gone all in with the craziness. So.
American Ninja.
Night, folks.
See you, Keith.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's getting late. We should probably wrap her up.
Netflix stuff now.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah,
I could talk about games, Seth. Come on earlier next time, Seth. We'll talk about games more.
Yeah, I tried to get here a little earlier, but
yeah,
just didn't happen.
That's cool. Are you on to SaltCon then?
No, I'm not. I wanted to, but
because you're too busy, like with your marriage stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm getting married in a week and a half, so there's too much to do.
Sucker.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
My condolences.
And
by all appearances, she apparently really loves you and thinks you're pretty cool. So,
well, that's the line anyway.
Yeah,
that's what she says. Yeah, no, it's coming up. I feel like I don't know. I'm getting the impression that weddings are sort of like designed to maximize the amount of like stress and hurt feelings it can do to the maximum number of people. It's like every piece of the wedding is set up to hurt people's feelings.
My wedding had like there were several things that kind of were bad. As far as just like our photographer didn't do the best job that he possibly could have done. He it just seemed like he was always like in the wrong spot at the wrong time. So like as far as our wedding pictures, there was definitely, we got the classic shots, but as far as like the candid shots of the group and the crowd and everything like that, kind of sucked. It was one of those things where it's like there was two things I completely screwed up, but like I was able to save it at the last moment, basically because I had a really good friend who had a fast car, so I mean we were able to like we were basically like our first song, like the MP3 that I had, like I left like I left the jump drive that had the MP3 on it like at home, so I had to send him back to the house to grab it and bring it back, things like that, so. But ultimately, like it is like there's like a ton of things that happened that were like really awesome as far as like my wife and I and like all of our friends and everything. And it was just a really, really good night. I mean, everybody had a lot of fun and the food was good and we partied all night and then we left there and we went downtown Fargo, which obviously it wasn't a big deal. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's really, really stressful. But you're going to have tons of really cool and awesome memories,
That's going to be great.
You're going to look back and you're going to just say, that was really cool. And it was a lot of money, but you know what, you get theoretically, this is who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And this is your, and this is your thing. This is your night. This is your, the process, and it's just like, and it's a big celebration. And how often after you're a kid, how often are you is the focus like on you? I mean, like admittedly,
Yeah.
Admittedly the focus is your wife, and you should make sure that everybody believes that. But I mean, it's like literally the last time that everybody's there because you're doing something. Right, so that's that's pretty cool. I mean, everybody's there because you've made this like incredibly huge decision. So I don't know, revel in it, man. Like I said, you're not gonna get it, anytime soon. So just make sure it's and just have a good time.
Which day is it?
Saturday the 11th.
All right, so
Not this Saturday, but
Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Cool. Yeah, congrats.
thanks.
We'll miss you at Gamma.
Yeah, I won't be a Gamma. I wasn't going to be a Gamma anyway, though.
I don't.
I would have liked to, if I weren't getting married next week, I probably would be at SaltCon this weekend.
Yeah.
I'd probably be leaving. I probably would have left there tomorrow.
You got to take. I think there's a con like every weekend. Yeah, I mean, like as a game company,
Well,
you guys go
SaltCon's
to, like,
in Utah.
how many cons
where
are you
it's-
guys going to as a company?
SaltCon in particular, though, it's where TMG is. And the last
Right.
couple of years, I've gone and going to the office, see the dudes.
Right. That'll be time.
And
for
why
that.
is Daniel getting on a plane? He just sent me a text. He's like, oh, sorry I couldn't make it. I'm getting on a plane. I'm like, well, where are you going?
I thought he said he was going to be at SaltCon too. So
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I was just kind of like,
maybe he's going to the other SaltCon, which is I don't know. I don't have a joke. There's no punchline.
I don't know either. But all right, well, thank you everybody for taking the time to be on and hanging out and talking and what have you. It was good.
Thanks for letting me on,
Barb said
guys.
nothing.
Thanks for making me come back next week.
Oh yeah, well, that's the way it works, right?
That, Jeff.
You don't have
So-
to stay the whole time, Jeff.
Yeah, that's true.
You can tap out. What do you have?
Hey, Barb, who's Steph?
What now? Who with what now?
Oh,
Steph.
so
All
right,
in
guys,
the past,
get that
Barb
out.
says that Daniel's not getting on a plane. He's picking up Steph to bring her here.
Steph The photographer.
Oh, she was. There was a reason why she couldn't make it. She was going to be.
Oh,
She was also on a plane going somewhere.
no. Well, apparently, Steph is coming to Utah. Oh, maybe Daniel just went to pick her up at the airport and not on the plane. So
Oh, that's what it is. He's going to the airport to pick something.
Maybe I don't know.
Whatever.
he
Who cares?
said,
It is what it is. Blah,
he
blah,
said
blah.
leaving for the airport. He said leaving for the airport. So that all makes
Leaving
sense.
for the airport. Okay,
So
that,
you went to pick stuff up.
now
At the
we've
Well, I assume
slowly,
to visit your company.
we slowly but surely determined
Oh,
exactly
she's-
the reason.
Steph is staying with Barb. Then why didn't Barb go to the airport? That's my question.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Barbara Kings.
TNG Insider. Who cares?
Oh, you care. You
Well,
stand
here.
behind.
I don't.
Do we have any inside information from TMG we can give
Ugh.
to make these people happy
You
that
already
they
gave it. You already gave it.
What now?
When is Yokohama hitting streets?
Early Q2. I mean, I'd love to say
So-
for sure April, but
April?
we never know. But
And Coliseum's in the stores, right?
well, no, Coliseum is
Coliseum's already
currently
a backer, I think.
Coliseum
backers,
is being sent to backers, and we are not going to give it a street date until we know for certain, like that all of our backers have that. That TMG learned its lesson as far as that is concerned. If not in their hands, at the very least, they have a tracking number and they know it's on the way before we give the okay to anywhere else to put it up for sale.
But
But
your first Kickstarter date planned yet for this year?
well,
crowdfunding. I'm going to say crowdfunding because I'm going to stop using.
okay, crowdfunding. It'll be Flow of History, and we're talking end of March, maybe beginning of April for
Are you
Flow
guys
of History
Are you redoing the
deluxification.
artwork on that, or just leaving it as a?
Artwork's been slightly redone, and we are doing a deluxe version for it. So there you go.
Yep.
No, so if people, I mean, and I'm not trying to steal sales away from you because I know people can get Flow of History through the BGG
Like-
store.
Yeah, but when's it actually going to come out? We don't really keep that much stock. We keep a pretty low stock of the Japanese stuff.
Have you
Usually,
played
like,
Flow?
under-
Have you played Flow?
No, want to though. It looks cool.
It's really good. It, the fact that like the players kind of create the economy and create the inflation.
Yeah, I think I saw
Um,
Joel Eddie's review, and it looked pretty. He was pretty ticking with it. I think and he had like a real completely different types of games depending on who was playing, right? Like you can kind of
Yeah, people. If you have a mean spirited group like I do, people will. We love.
not let you do what you want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just we are not a friendly. There's a reason why Richard would not review it for us because it was too mean.
We ordered Insider. Kabuki Kid is asking if we ordered Insider. We ordered Insider and the new, whatever the new.
Is Insider like available or whatever? I've seen some people play it, but I don't know if they all got it like imported or something because
Yeah,
I
it
feel
would
like
be
that-
imported
I feel like that's
nobody's
the
had it.
next big party game.
Well, I
I mean,
guess
it won't be any coding.
the werewolf.
What's that?
What is it? The Werewolf Words game? I can't remember the name of it.
The Werewolf Words game?
I'm sorry, I'll tell you in a second.
Hey, so you're getting Insider or you aren't?
Well, we ordered it. We ordered Insider and the new Link game that came out.
Well, you need to make sure you hold on one of those for me.
Okay.
Don't you okay me? you
I think Bezier Games announced Werewords or something like that, and that's basically like Insider.
you hand out free crap all day long to like Travis and people like that. You
Is
just
it
hold.
Werewords?
I'll even pay for it. Just hold on to it.
I'll hold you on.
Don't you
Werewords.
okay me?
Lance is going to pay for something.
So
Oh, shut
Bezier is doing a werewolf version of it. Seth.
What's that?
Bezier is doing a werewolf
A version of Insider?
of Insider, yeah. But you can
That
play Insider.
does not
With,
surprise me, I suppose.
you can play Insider with concept cards. You have concept.
I don't.
Do you know how Insider works?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You can play it with any stack of cards that have words on them.
Basically, you just gotta like have two people see what the thing is, right?
Right.
I'm actually not sure how. Like,
So
is it like
So there's you deal out a roll to everybody. One insider card, one master card, and everybody else is a villager. Whatever, werewolf, whatever. So there's an insider, a master, and then everybody else is just a regular person, right?
the master
master tells everybody to close their eyes. Master looks at the word. Then the master closes their eyes and asks the insider to open their eyes and look at the word. And then the insider basically turns the card over. The insider looks at the word, doesn't say anything. Then the master gives a good 5 seconds. Then the master flips the card. Master then opens their eyes, flips the card over, and then you start. It'll take a round to do it. It's easy to mess up. It's like any werewolf game. You have to get the starting right. So the master knows the word, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the insider knows the word, but no one knows who the insider is. Okay. And then everybody has to ask 20 questions. Ask questions, yes or no answer, to the master. The master will answer yes or no. If you don't get the word within 2 minutes, 2-minute timer, everybody loses.
Okay. That's the trick. And also, when I played it, Aldi cheated every time.
And the insider is supposed to kind of guide the group to get the answer, because if everybody loses, then the insider knows the words, then they should just lose worse. Like, everybody loses, but the insider loses in a worse way. Right? Because they knew the word, and they could have guided the group to it. And it's fun if the insider even just blurts the word out. Like, sometimes you just don't know who the insider is. And we had a game where Matthew shouted out the word as the last tick of sand fell out of the timer, and we all thought it was him, and it wasn't him. And it was hilarious. So.
You're still laughing about it today.
There were some games at BGG Con, man, where if I think about it more, I will start laughing. They were just so funny.
So the insider wins if
nobody catches them. So once the answer
you figure out the word is, but nobody thinks they're the insider.
So let's say you're the insider, Seth, and I'm the master, and Lance and Barry are regulars, and Barry shouts out the answer.
Oh, I'm not regular.
Villager. You're just a regular old villager. So Barry shouts it out, right? You're the insider, so you shut up. Then everybody has a certain amount of time, and the way we were playing it is you just flip the timer over, and so whatever amount of time it took you to get to that answer, you flip over and discuss whether or not Barry is the insider. So it's just on Barry now, because Barry answered it, right?
Well, no, because he answered it, or because
he answered
everyone said, I think Barry's the insider.
No, because whoever answers it becomes the target of the first vote.
Oh.
Okay. So Barry answered it. We all then have to say, do we believe Barry's the... If we think he's the insider by a raise of hands, majority, then he reveals his role. If he's the insider, which he's not in this situation, and we thought he was, we would lose and you would win because you snuck through, right? If there's not a majority vote for him, you proceed to a second round of voting, where you basically play like a werewolf game, and then it's a 3-2-1 point and vote, and the majority person that's voted against is the...
That's only if the insider didn't already win.
Right. If the insider didn't already win, then you go to the second round of voting. And then we're like, well, I know it wasn't Barry, it had to be Seth, because Seth was doing this, and he said something weird, and I thought he was leading me down a path. And then we all do a discussion, although there's kind of a weird rules issue there. Like, is all the discussion done before you vote for Barry or after? Like, we played where we did all the discussion, then voted for Barry, and if that failed, or if we, didn't lose there, we would go immediately to a second vote where we would just, nobody would say anything, you go 3-2-1 vote, point. And then that would be like typical werewolf lynching, right? And then that person, and if that person's the insider, the group wins. If it's not the insider, then the insider wins.
It's never clear to me in those games when and how much discussion there's supposed to be.
So the rule we made was you have the timer. It's a 2-minute timer. I think it was 3 minutes, actually. It's pretty long. You flip that over, you have that much time to guess the word, to get the right answer, right? As soon as the answer was spoken, we would flip the timer back over and we would do discussion until the timer was ended. If we all agreed that we had enough time to talk about it, we would just go to the voting phase. And then there was no discussion in between voting for Barry
And
and
voting
then
for
voting
the
for
next
the
person.
second round of
Or-
voting.
and pointing for the next.
And then even the pointing the fingers. The vote for Barry is a majority. Like either people raise their hands or not. Like yeah, it's Barry or not.
And that's in open. I presume that's out in the open, right?
And so let's say you threw out the answer and you're the insider. And if we don't vote, we don't think you're the insider at that point, you just win. Because you
Like, haha, I
fooled
got
us,
you,
right?
fools.
Yeah. So sometimes it's actually a strategy for the insider to just blurt the answer out like early. Because sometimes it I don't know. I've had like games go in all different directions where sometimes the answer is blurted out early by accident or blurted out early on purpose. And then just a whole mess of other types of scenarios come out of that game, and they're quite entertaining.
So if you're the insider and you're gonna say the answer, you might try to play it off like, "Oh, I just figured it out. Is this?"
Yeah, you'd be like, "I had no idea that's what it was." Like, you say, "Oh, is it bigger than a bread box?" And you say no, and it's like, "Oh, is it a remote control?" Yes. Just like you could be. There's fun to be had in every part of that game. Like trying to hold, like just letting the group come to the answer because then they have nothing on you, which is actually not as fun as it's that's harder to figure out who the insider is in a big group because if the insider doesn't say anything, very hard to figure them out.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the thing to do.
So you want to play in a small group. Like I don't think more than 5 is great. It's 5. 5 is like the sweet spot because you have one master, you have 4 regular players, 4 players asking questions.
I'm gonna just stop you because 30 minutes ago I said I'm gonna have to wrap this up. I'm tired.
I had to teach Seth the rules.
It's always about you.
Good Lord.
He might play it at his wedding.
I doubt it. There you go.
Anyway,
All
I
right.
think I got it. If you have any more questions, let me know.
All right, cool, thanks. I did get speaking of my wedding, I did get
You're killing me, Seth.
wedding love letter
Oh yeah,
copies. Yeah.
Cool.
Which you can get that from them if you send. You got to send them
an
a
invitation.
copy of your invite so they know you're legit.
Yeah.
And they sell it to you for like $8 a pop or something like that.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Before
for
we
staying
go,
with
Lance,
us.
hold on, I got 2 things.
Well, no, do you have to do them online or do we
It'll
have
be
to
real quick, yeah.
Oh,
First,
my
the
gosh.
secret cabal. Wait, I can't say anything about that. I don't want to link. They're having a Kickstarter April 6th. Something's going on tomorrow. Go to the Secret Cabal /Kickstarter. You'll see it if the link's up. They're having a Q&A tomorrow. The second thing is everybody say happy birthday to Paul.
Oh, hey,
Happy
Paul.
birthday,
Happy birthday, buddy. I didn't know it was his birthday. That's cool.
Let's go.
Who's Paul? Paul who?
Paul Tompkins.
Oh, happy birthday, Paul.
But, all right, everyone, you're awesome.
Chris
Thank you so
Peach
much.
is having a Kickstarter.
He canceled it. They're
Oh,
going
he
to
canceled it?
relaunch.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. But everybody, thank you very much for hanging out. Had a lot of fun. Had a good conversation. Until next week.